And welcome everybody to episode 11 of Blood and Silver here on Hard Knock Dice, also the home of the Across Eberron campaign on Saturdays at 5 p.m. instead. We are we are still partnered with the Extra Life charity, good grief, raising money for the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Someone's going to drop a link. Give it a look. It's worth your time, and giving a little bit of money to help kids has never been a bad thing. Be the good guy, not just in D&D, but in real life too. That being said, let's get on to a recap of events thus far. The slow occupation of a city by foreign powers disguised as friends. The incremental changes in economic priority bringing wealth to neighboring nations while stripping the people of liberty, comfort, and fortune. The immediate and unwavering violence brought to bear against those who cried out for change, for representation, and for freedom from foreign oppressors. These are the tribulations faced by the people of the city-state of Griffin at the hands of the religious zealots of Altus, the military powers of Karath, and the wealthy merchants of Zorgine. Our heroes, mercenaries of sorts, stand with the people of Griffin, having thrown in their lot with the rebellion movement known as the Order of the Dawn. First by rescuing the young... I've lost my place. Strategic genius Valentin Pascal, and then by eliminating the threat of the opposition's own military leadership, General Spiros Rokades. Having chosen a path less sullied by blood, they have attempted to reason with him, connecting to him through his brother Alikos. But the plan was cut short by an immediate emergency. The child, Maximilian, an orphan of violence, has been kidnapped by an unknown entity. Believing the enemy to have connection to the eerie Knights of the Alton Church, they immediately race to the slums following directions written in blood, accompanied by Alikos. Having arrived and found themselves embroiled in combat with a maddened warrior wielding eldritch strength, they suffered grave wounds, and the child was crushed nearly to death in the conflict. Finally felling the monster, however, Roderick brought his magic to bear to heal the child. Having made quite the commotion, though, they fled, Alikos and the party going their separate ways. And now with Roderick and Apollinaire heading to Durden Row and Seraphine and Gaia taking Max to the theater hideout, we rejoin our party. Does anyone in particular have a desire to go first? All right, Roderick and Apollinaire, thank you for volunteering.
Yo! Hey.
All right, so you guys have rapidly at first and then surreptitiously once you got to the gates and through the gates with no problems, interestingly enough. You make it to Durden Row.
Good. I really hope so. I have 12 HP. I hope we make it everywhere all right.
Yeah, that'd be real bad for you to just get hit by another random arrow in the street.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I should roll some percent on it. I'm joking.
Do it, coward.
Yeah.
I can take it.
Having reached the gate, a simple and direct excuse gets y'all right through.
I stay standing like I am not almost dying. Good evening, officers. Goodbye. Heavy lean on the cane.
Yo, I can help you with that, Roy.
I don't know. Just get to the other. I just need to sit down, hopefully, but just in case. So, knows what else may go wrong.
At Durden Row, heading to your old forge, is there anything in particular you're going to stop and do on Durden Row prior to getting there?
It's like nighttime at this point, right?
Yeah, quite late. It is approaching midnight.
Yeah. So I imagine most people are going to be asleep, so unless someone is randomly walking the streets at midnight, it's like, oh, hey, let's have a conversation. I would imagine that.
Hello.
I sincerely doubt it.
Somebody just paused a few dudes walk out with knives out and try to mug us.
There's just a guy like, oh my god, I can't carry all this silver. Can you help me?
There's probably a neighborhood drunk type guy sitting on his porch still putting down a little bit later than he should be, but nothing.
He's out there drinking shine.
Nothing particularly of note.
All right.
Busy.
Yeah, I'll
Fantastic.
head back to the forge.
To the forge.
Yeah, the forge was 400 feet that way. Y'all didn't have far to go.
Yeah. Well, I'll head there, get the lights on, general stuff, and as late as it is, well, I'll see to Apollinaire first. I'm gonna, help out my homie.
Thank you.
How bad you looking?
I feel. I do not know if I have ever really felt worse in my life.
Okay, yeah, we'll get you. Don't worry.
I think I'm in a combination of shock and pain.
I will get him with, since I hope we're getting a long rest. I'm gonna hit you with a 3rd level cure wounds for 21 healing.
Oh, 21.
Now that you've used that spell slot, you can go ahead and roll initiative for the second armored warrior.
Oh, wait a minute.
So wait, hold on a second. I don't got spell slots for this one. This ain't fair. Well, that's not fair at all.
Yeah. You do your extra spicy version of healing.
Yeah.
Goes through unmitigated.
Eyes watering.
Probably almost feels worse than getting hit by the car person.
Oh. I'm going to have a seat. Healing the forge. I'm going to take a sit down.
Yeah. To note, the forge is cold and there are no lights on, at least not in this domicile.
That's what I was saying. I was gonna get there and start turning lights on and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
Lighting candles, as it were.
You doing that thing like pinching and
yeah. I'm not going to try and make something dramatic that wasn't just something incredibly unlikely. Your lighting of the candles and lanterns and such does draw the attention of a couple of the neighbors who come by inquiring, first to see what the fuck's going on. This is supposed to be a dead man's house. And his family has not yet had time to be notified. But I remember they're quite far away. But upon seeing who it is like, "Oh, I'm Mr. Adik. We were not expecting you in the area. Is all well?"
Yeah, we got him.
And I'll just throw the big great sword on the floor.
Him? What is this? There's now a small crowd of probably like 5 or 6 people here.
The guard got him. We got him back. Justice and all that.
You mean the one who killed? And just kind of look at you questioningly, a little bit frightened.
Well, I have 3 hit points, so it's probably fairly obvious that I've been through the fucking ringer. Probably look like I fell down a flight of stairs that were actually just like adamantium spikes.
These stairs cleverly, or these adamantium spikes cleverly disguised as a stairway. Yes. Not gonna spend too much time with it, but is there any conversation you're gonna be having with them as they're joined by a few more people, a couple wives, a couple kids. They send for a couple people further down the row. Let's see. You find yourself inside of 20 minutes. You find yourself being given thanks by several of the households, primarily the ones that were closest to the smithy. In some cases, just a couple of flowers picked from their garden, a handful of coppers or silvers, maybe the leftover dessert from their meal, a slice of cake kind of thing, brought to the two of y'all. Just whatever they had on hand. It is somewhere between solemn, appreciative, and almost kind of a restart on the grieving.
Yeah, I'll give people a brief rundown of what happened and the guy going crazy and greatly exaggerate not what happened, but just basically make Apollinaire out to be the real hero of the situation.
Monsieur Apollinaire, you have our greatest gratitude. I cannot even begin to express what you have done for us here. We have suffered a great loss at the hands of this person. So thank you.
The thanks belongs to everyone that was present. Roderick, he embellishes, perhaps to undersell his part.
Roderick already knows of our gratitude.
And you're with mine.
So you find yourself with an impromptu vigil being held.
Not one for ceremony. Roderick is going to get that forge going, and while it's starting up, he's gonna hit himself with a couple of first level cure wounds. Just get rid of those spell slots. I need some hit points to do some smithing real quick. And then we're now sitting at a solid 18. But yeah, that being said, I am going to do what the guy in my head instructed me to do, and I'm gonna start melting that fucking sword down tonight.
All right. How many spell slots do you have left at the moment?
I have 1 second level spell slot, which I thought you might ask me, and I was going to save to probably start whatever it is I'll end up starting.
Noted. All right. This is not going to be a quick or immediate process. Apollinaire, while he gets to work on that, what are you doing? And before you answer that, actually, Roderick, will you go ahead and roll me a smithing check?
Hell yeah, I could do those real
It
good.
will be with your wisdom modifier.
Awesome. So that brings the total of the big ol' nat 20 to what's my proficiency on this? 28.
All right. That's nothing to sneeze at all. So we'll definitely be revisiting that here in just a moment. All right, Apollinaire, sorry for saying get ready and then bouncing away from you again. Go ahead. What you doing?
No, you're totally fine. I'm checking something. Oh, okay, never mind. I can't do that anyway. That's all right. Apollinaire is just kind of is gonna sit with Roderick, find a stool somewhere, and drag it into the forge. He's not entirely sure exactly what's going on, but I mean, we just killed the thing. Not really sure he qualified as a person anymore. That killed a good friend of Roderick's. So drag a stool into the forge and just kind of sit with him.
All right. So supportive friend. What an appropriate action to take, I suppose.
Also in a lot of pain, so just like
I guess you're not gonna take a nap or anything in the night, so.
So that being said, which before we hop over to the other two, Apollinaire, it is probably noticeable that the occasional over-your-shoulder mutterings that tend to polka dot your day have been silent since reaching the forge.
Interesting.
Okay, now just giving you that little tidbit, now we're going to hop over to Seraphina and Gaia. Y'all make your way through the gate, again, just like the other two, with no issues. Just a whatever quick and simple excuse you throw up is, yes, ma'am, welcome to Griffin. Right on through. You make your way on foot, because the rail cars are not running at this hour, up to the third layer into the Seven Gestures Theater. No problems. Make it in. Interesting to note, or I guess not interesting, I guess it would be obvious. There's not just one door guard, there are like 4. And you notice a couple more drunks and late night carousers that don't seem to be doing much in the street a block in either direction around the theater. You recognize some of the faces.
As we approach, I'm carrying Max like he's a sleeping child, trying to like make it obvious that he's not because I mean he's still hurt.
Yeah.
Right. And I approach the door with little ceremony and just look at them to open the door. I don't even say anything.
By just entering the alleyway, you know, your presence has already been noted. You're not sneaking, and they are on high alert.
Mm-hmm.
They are already rushing to help you as needed, open the door, calling for, you know, medicine, food.
I look down at Gaia and go, tell everybody what happened. I'm going to take Max upstairs to tend.
Make sure that just take him upstairs. I will make sure the doctor comes to you.
Okay.
Very clear that guy is distracted.
Yeah, so I don't know how you'd want to rule this, DM, but as I go upstairs, I am singing a song to him in the hopes that it will count as a song of rest. So even though that's technically a short rest, I just want to give him a little bit of it's literally the only like healing magic I have on me.
You are going to have time to do a full Song of Rest.
Okay.
Should you so desire. Because there's going to be a little bit of a time skip here just for a few hours.
Great.
Gaia, what were you wanting to do?
Gaia
she goes up
will,
there.
Essentially tell anybody who comes up to her until she finds a doctor or somebody to find a doctor to fuck off. Once she's found the doctor, she'll tell whoever needs to know to meet her upstairs outside of wherever Seraphina is and tell them outside and then head in.
You are nearly immediately intercepted by both Valentine Pascal and Lai Fang, who are at this hour fully dressed and awake. Clearly had both been notified about something going down. And Lai Fang opens with, before you can get anything out of your mouth, "We have a doctor on the way. Where is the child? Was anyone else injured?"
We all were pretty badly hurt. You made sure the doctor would get here quickly.
We already called for him as soon as we knew what was going on. He is a surgeon. He doesn't ask questions.
Okay.
I think that when I get to my balcony, I message Gaia and say, give me 15 minutes before anybody else comes up. If you want to, you can come up too to get some healing. But I want to get him situated.
Or you're at the edge of your balcony, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you, so I telepathically send back. Understood. I do Lifing and the general's name is escaping me.
Valentine Pascal.
Valentine want to see him. Should I tell them to wait?
15 minutes. Give
Alright.
me 15 minutes.
Then I will explain to them what happened.
It is very likely that they followed you up, so they're just standing right behind you, like, Billy with.
Well, they
If
can't
if I,
hear that.
if they say something or if they said something, I will look down.
Oh,
and,
that's right. Mental communication. My bad. I'm so sorry.
yeah. It's like I.
They're just standing expectantly behind Gaia in that case.
Okay, so if that's the case, I will have laid Max down,
Mhm.
descended the stairs, and go. If you've sent for a surgeon, that is for the best, and he can tend to the wounds that I cannot take care of. But I would like 15 minutes with Gaia, just Gaia, myself, and Max. Just give me that.
Same response. Just a quick very well, a nod, and then they both head downstairs. Lai Fang does let you know that the surgeon should be here in less than 30 minutes.
Okay. So then I have Gaia join me upstairs so that I can play this song of rest. And I tuck Max in like he's a sleeping child. And normally Serafina doesn't have words for her music, but she had been trying to craft a song for sleep. So if the Elven Kingdom had approved her request to send Max to safety, this would have put him to sleep until he got there. But Serafina's like cleaning his face and like tucking his hair behind his ears and says, "My dear Kit, come lie down and wipe the worry from your brow. Curl up near me and rest your head and close your eyes, and it's time for bed. When you wake, the world is new. Run and laugh, there's playing to do. But for now, please rest your eyes, curl up close, and I'll hold you tight." And she's just singing that. And so I'll roll 1d6 to add to Max's healing, which for him would be 3 points for Max, and I guess 3 for anybody who is listening. So, Gaia, you get 3 points of healing, including myself.
How does you change how short rests work, right?
Our
Would this
healing
just
mechanics?
add
The
on
healing
to-
mechanic on it. Song of Rest can be used on a long rest or as the soul healing on a short rest.
Oh,
Mhm.
cool. Really?
Soul healing.
Yeah, so you can't spend HD, but you can still do something along those lines.
Okay.
Optional rules in the DMG, folks. They cool.
While she's singing that, Gaia will have sat next to Max's bed, just grabbed his hand, and just talked of just, "You're going to make it. You're going to put the eggs in my bed again. You will see the Sylvan Kingdom. These are all things that will happen."
I look over at you, Gaia, and I grab your hand and just squeeze it and go, "We have got to finish. We got to end this. Whether it's killing Spiros or having him listen or like, we didn't come back. We didn't come back, and he got taken. Because I was afraid of facing Pascal. And He'll be okay. Roger killed him. I put a little bit of healing magic there. But we've got to end this. Because if he gets taken again or another child gets taken again, it's going to be the end for them. Max was lucky.
And Gaia look at her. Strangely looks younger. And just tears down her face. But we almost didn't save him.
I know. I know.
Serafina, I don't care about the city. I know that's not the best thing to say, but I care about my friends. I care what happens to Max. Until I know he's safe, I don't know if I can keep doing what we are doing.
I know. And I'm of the opposite. I didn't really care about the city. I was just caring about the mission. And then, and I point my finger at you, and Apollinaire and Roderick weaseled your way into my conscience. And so now it's very difficult for me to be the level-headed person that I was, of just killing a guy if I needed to. So I have now been sort of forced to care. But I do see where you are coming from. And I pull you in and kiss the top of your head. And look down at Max and go, we'll protect him. Let's let him rest and wait for the surgeon. And then talk with Valentine and Lifang and get the next steps, whatever that is.
Have your people said anything?
Not yet. Not yet.
If they don't, soon. I will take him to the Sylvan Kingdom myself. I cannot.
Quick interjection. It is pretty common knowledge that humans are killed instantly at the border. So.
Even with a Fey companion?
Yes. I mean, you would probably be arrested, and then the human would be killed. At this time, there are, I don't think, merchants from one nation to the north, Koza, are allowed to one location in the Sylvan Kingdom. That is it.
Yeah.
That's what why this was such a big deal in trying to get Maximilian inside.
But even then, I take him somewhere near.
Yeah.
Until it can be figured out. I don't think it is safe for him here. And to wait until somebody eventually decides that he gets to I can't let my friend die.
I take both of your hands now and go, it will be over my dead body for Max to die. Gaia, you saw that tonight. It will be over my dead body. So you're exhausted and I'm exhausted. Let us have him rest. And we will think on this tomorrow. And I tuck Max in and go downstairs.
You are in the process of wrapping up that last sentence when the door crashes dramatically open and you hear, "Where is my patient?" And you see a very irate man in very traditional Shirai outfit, carrying a large case under each arm, looking around. Y'all are up on the balcony, he doesn't see y'all. He's looking from left to right.
Gaia, say something before I murder this man.
He is up here.
Ugh! Huffs irritatedly while trying to hustle around the half-repaired wreckage in spots around the room, and just immediately starts unrolling packages you can see are filled with a variety of medical and surgical supplies, just on random surfaces. Your bed is where Maximilian is, I think you said.
Mm-hmm.
So every other surface is being used as this is where all the syringes go. This is where my surgical tools go. Here, hold this. And he hands you a box. You make yourself useful. Get me hot water.
I will make myself useful by any time I feel that my guidance fades. I will once again cast guidance, but I will holler over the balcony. You heard the man. Get him water, hot water.
Yes.
I message Gaia and hand her the box that this man handed me and go, I'm going to go downstairs now so that I don't murder this man who's trying to help Max. And I'm going to tell Valentine Pascal and Lai Feng the long and short of it. Okay?
Okay. Send one of the guards up so I can
Order them around. You got it.
Yes.
And I go downstairs. I see 2 or 3 people who are hanging around. I give them just 1 point each and go help Gaia now.
They are. The situation was already pretty tense. It takes incredibly little direction to get them to head up, because everyone clearly has been worried about Maximilian. He had become kind of a mascot, sort of. Yeah.
That tracks.
He was he wasn't the child of any 2 parents at this point. He was the child of everyone in this building. So.
Yeah.
So everyone is eager to help. There's no pressure needed.
Yeah.
And
I go find Valentine and Lai Feng.
As you're walking away, they must have shown themselves, because you can hear the surgeon barking orders at them to get him this and that. Gaia, for your part, what you see over the next hour is a very angry, very, very skilled person at work. It's very clipped, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Incredibly professional, with no pauses for breath, really. So you'll be assisting him with that?
Could say I'd be magically guiding him.
Really? Crazy.
I know.
Right. we'll pick back up on that. Sorry, we're gonna have to pick back up on several things as we bounce around from situation to situation. Serafina, the hallways are pretty much clear. Everyone's either hovering the stairway up to y'all's area or on some form of guard duty outside. There's maybe one patrol in the hallway. It's just two guys, and they get out of your way as you head off towards the meeting room. When you get in there, open the door. It is the same, Lifeng and Valentine. They're not sitting in their like actual like council seats. They are just kind of standing around near one of the tables, speaking. Goes quiet as soon as you walk in. Serafina, news you have, I hope.
The child is being taken care of. Both Roderick and I were able to use some of our magic to stabilize and take care of him. So the surgeon is merely reinforcing that.
It is good. What happened to him? He was covered in blood.
It is best that you do not know.
Okay.
But what did happen is that the man who kidnapped Maximilian and killed his caretaker is dead. He was not a knight like we originally thought, but something much worse.
Something, you say?
He used to be a man, an Alton, but whatever got him had a vendetta against Roderick.
Just a couple of confused and worried glances pass between the two of them, and kind of look back at you after a moment. I feel like there is much more to discuss on the matter once we have a little more time, and it is not so late. Does this have any connection to the situation with Spiros Rokidis?
Seraphina, like the deepest of sighs. I know that you wanted haste in that situation. I've planted some seeds that I hope will be able to be reaped by tomorrow.
How very vague.
Do you trust the work that I have done?
I suppose.
So then let my vagaries be vague for the time being.
Can you guarantee us clarity tomorrow when we can have an actual meeting?
Yes. Yes.
Then your subtlety for the moment is granted.
All right. Unless they have specific questions for me, I am going to, because I'm still in my pants outfits from like 2 days ago. I am filthy. I am sweaty. I look like hell. So I'm going to bow.
You're not without bloodstains yourself.
Yeah. I'm gonna like do a like really simple bow and just exit without any even ceremony. Like no goodbyes, no nothing. Just like waiting for them to say something. If they don't say anything, I'm gone.
You leave them looking back at each other and at you in turn, seemingly baffled by the brusqueness and intensity of the very, very brief and vague debriefing. But yeah, you can go do your thing for the moment. Is there anything else the two of you will be doing for the next little bit? I will say that after a little over an hour of incredibly careful examination and administration from the surgeon. He seems mid-movement, he's checking all the different things, and he just stops, says, "This child's body is exhausted, but he should be all right. I would not expect him to wake in the next day, perhaps two. He is recovering from some incredible expense." And just kind of looks suspiciously at you, Gaia. "But he's fine, and my job is done." And he begins packing up his stuff.
So I imagine around that time, because Seraphina's not going to be around when this guy is still working. So as soon as he's gone, I go up and pull the the cot that I had laid out for Max, because Max is in my bed. I pull the cot up and I look to you, Gaia, and say, "You can be up here if you want. You can make your nest at the foot of the bed if you'd like. But I'm going to pray to the spirit and also hope that my parents get back to me and that Spiros gets back to me, because all of those things are factors that we're counting on. Oh, I should also message the guys. I make a little fox. I have one first level spell left, and like make a fox and send it to Apollinaire and Roderick and go, Max is safe. He is exhausted, but he is safe. See you tomorrow. Please come tomorrow.
Right. Well, y'all will receive that message in time. And if they have nothing else they would like to do... Oh, I see Guy raising a finger. What's up?
Just mechanically, I'm curious about one thing. Still gonna do it. If I ritually cast spell, do I have to roll for my my table? See if I have to roll on the table.
We'll go with no.
Okay. And I'm gonna ritually cast Tiny Hut and make a little cave around the two beds.
All right. Like a weird rock cocoon looking thing around y'all's balcony now.
It's Antonio now.
Looks a lot more au naturel, that's for sure. Because we established the inside of it looks like a grotto or something, right?
Like just a cave.
Just a cave? Okay.
Yep, just a cave.
There you go. It's a cave.
It's even got that little, like, you know, the stereotypical just cave water drop sound every once in a while.
We good?
Yes.
Oh, okay. There's the earbuds. Yeah, so is that the last... Oh, okay. We will linger here for a moment while we get our Apollinaire back. There we are. All right, never mind. Lingering is done. That being said, we will hop on over to the Durden Row squad. At some juncture in the night, you will receive the Fox Messenger letting you know what's up with Maximilian.
Does it just come to both of us? Is it like a mental thing? I'm curious.
Whichever one it sees first, I will leave it up to y'all to decide.
I'm gonna roll for it.
Sure.
Roll a d20. Whoever high.
Roll
Whoever's highest.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I think it's coming to you.
16.
4.
Woo!
So,
I won.
Apollinaire, when you'll see just like this silvery ghost fox come like bounding down the road, and it sees you and sits in front of you and kind of looks up at you, and then it opens its mouth and you will hear the message that I imbued it with.
Oh.
Merry Christmas.
Much less spooky. Exactly. So it was a ghost. And now I guess I will, from my post, sat watching Roderick do his thing while I rest my old man bones. Walk over to him and Lodzik, I just hailed from Salafina. Maximilian is quite spent from his ordeal, but he will be all right.
All right, that's good to hear. Well, I'm sure he's gonna be down for a few days.
Yes, I imagine so. It was a lot for him.
Right. I'm gonna keep finishing this in and let each people kind of do their thing.
And I would imagine that someone's starting to smith at like 1 o'clock in the morning and like melting down what I'm pretty sure was a rather massive sword.
Yeah, it was probably like, large-ish claymore sized.
Right. I'm not thinking like, cloud or anything, but
It is larger than an average two-handed sword for that area.
Okay, gotcha.
But
just having like the smithing hammer or what have you, sort of being like calling people from their sleep to sort of be like, justice done.
Yep. Yeah, the vigil is kind of an ongoing thing, and lots of people stay. So you are not alone as you are performing this act. This seems to be providing a form of closure for the people that knew him. And not only had they known him and were mourning his death, but they were afraid. To them, it seemed random. A member of their community horrifically cut down, and now that threat was, according to someone else they trust, eliminated. So the vigil is a mourning of his passing, a celebration of life, and a celebration of safety for them. And a thankfulness to you as well for providing that. So yeah, you got an audience of people with candles for most of the night. So go ahead and roll a 1d4 and add that to your total of 28, I believe it was.
3.
So 31?
31, yes, sir.
31. Cool. So as you are working on smelting down this sword, it seems at first simply resistant to the flames of the forge. The striking of your hammer, trying to break it down from what it once was into something more harmless, something that can become something else. You're spending a shocking amount of time simply trying to melt it down. As that goes on, it goes from simply being resistant to seeming like something ill. There is a sickly emanation off of it that only you seem to feel. You continue for hours, and you begin to lose yourself in the work. Over the next, until sunrise, which would be another 6 or 7 hours, from the time you started. You fall into a trance-like state. So Apollinaire, if you reach out to him, you're probably not going to get an answer unless you really, really try. Yes, that. I want you, Roderick, you don't get a long rest. You will consume your spell slot and all of your channel divinities if you had more than one left. Apollinaire, this is what you see. As he's working, initially just as, his own mannerisms and behaviors, he grows quieter, more mechanical, faster, more driven. The seams in his armor go from simply like that kind of glow of a forge from within to shining bright. And as he works, the flame of the forge grows brighter and hotter than any forge you've seen, until it is a white heat. Roderick, as you are in this working trance, you keep flickering between yourself and someone else with hands that look human. Looking down, you see just white marble, including the forge. You're not wearing any gloves on these human hands of yours. You're holding steel, glowing hot, striking it. Back to yourself at the forge with Apollinaire, losing yourself in the work. Back at the marble forge, seeing through the eyes of the human working. As these two realities blend together, the metal melts down, and by sunrise, you have an ingot, a large ingot that was once the great sword. And you will have 2 levels of exhaustion, not 1.
All right.
You just can't get away from it, dog.
Yeah, it'd be that way sometimes.
To clarify, since this is the first time I think it's actually come up, we're not using regular 5e exhaustion, right?
I'm going to step away for just a moment as I realize the sun is fading fast and I'm going to turn on the lamp. I will be right back. I can hear you if you talk.
Woo! DM's gone! Chaos! Everybody take a level. Take 2.
No, 10 times. Everybody gets 10. We're all level 16. We're good.
Woo, level 20. Man, damn, feels good to be a game.
Holy shit!
Holy, he's orange.
Is that a heat lamp or
There
something?
seems to be a... There we go.
Oh. I didn't know we were doing Descent into Avernus.
Cody said I gotta get some light and keep my tendies warm.
Thank God for auto color balancing. Turn that on real fast. All right, now that the the lighting change has gone through, everyone is in different places, but it is it's the morning, it's the daytime. So what are y'all doing? Rise and shine on a sunny new day. At sunup, as you are finished, the few of the vigil who had stuck around, bid you farewell.
Yeah, I bid them farewell as well. Let them go about their business. Small talk, as it were.
They're all pretty pooped from being up all night watching you forge, so.
Yeah.
Guy is changing some spells out.
Same. No. I don't get to prep my spells.
I don't have any spells.
I will go ahead and say that as the surgeon predicted, with sunup, Maximilian, who is usually up with the sun very energetically, is still fast asleep. But his breathing is even, and other than a lattice work of brand new scars, appears just fine.
So aside from checking on him and making sure that he was in fact, breathing, I think the first thing Seraphina does is like sort of peek over the cot's edge to see if there is any messages back from either my parents or from Spiros or Kitties.
Nothing from your parents yet.
Okay.
But there is a response from Spiros.
Okay.
It simply says, I shall meet with your associates. And it gives a location and a time.
Okay.
It is tomorrow evening.
Okay.
And figure out where I put. It's a restaurant, an eating house, as it were.
Okay.
The Elfin Kiss. Which you would know about because it is in the Sapphire District in Carnival. It's a popular eating and drinking house that has a forest theme. So they serve foods that they market as elfin delicacies. They're not.
I think Seraphina knows about this place because she was like, okay, come on. And
you were probably very excited when you heard about it and then got there and were like,
yeah,
this is just cake in the shape of a flower. I don't know what they're doing here, but yeah. So.
Okay. So with that, I sort of like, the fox disappears and I lay back on the bed and speak out to Guy and go, okay, I've heard back. I mean, you probably heard it too, but at least we have hope. I don't have to kill him, maybe? Oh, God, I hate this.
Well,
so much. Okay. Yep.
what will happen will happen.
Yeah.
Quick interjection. Roderick and Apollinaire, y'all heading back or y'all staying at Durden's Row?
No. Are we?
I will head back to check in, but will probably then return for perhaps more levels of exhaustion.
No.
Wait a minute, hold on now. Wait a minute.
No.
Hold on now. Hold up. Whoa. Just take that ingot and just like stick it on top of a stick, and that's a hammer. Done. That's it. Whole job done.
I like your thinking there.
Nah, again. That's what the big bucks for. It's my thinking brain.
Ingots are basically just hammerheads.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just put it on a stick. That's a hammer.
Yeah.
Or just skip the middleman. Just hit people with it.
I could just take it and and put it on a flat piece of metal. That's a sword right there. It's just a blunt sword.
Bro, you're a fucking genius. That's true. Facts.
Oh my gosh. All
Save
right.
me, Cody.
We are problem solving.
Seraphina is gonna go downstairs and wait at the war table for Apollinaire and Roderick to come back, because I feel like it needs to be a unified front for me to explain my whole shtick.
It's like 7:15, 7:30. You're in the war room waiting. See a very, very, very tired looking Valentine come in at one point. Good morning, Seraphina. Why are you in my office?
What do you mean? What do you mean? This is the war table that Roderick is building.
Yes, but like, this is also my office. We don't have a bunch of rooms here. Whatever. Just kind of walks over to one of the 4 or 5 tables that are in the room and just kind of sits down at what is allegedly his paperwork or something that he is working on.
To clarify, this is the table, like this is like the carving table that Roderick of the city that's in the theater proper.
I thought you said you went to the war room.
Oh, if I misspoke, I meant to say the war table.
Oh, gotcha.
The table that Roderick has been carving and that we have been.
Okay, no, we are back on the the same page. I think I had referred to the meeting room at the end of the hall at one point as the war room.
Oh, okay.
So I thought you had gone back there. Never mind. You are not joined by Valentine, because that's where he is.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm at the table that Roderick's been carving.
Yeah, right there in y'all's little upstairs theater area.
Yeah.
No, that's where you are. Yeah, and that is where y'all will find her when y'all get there. It is an uneventful trip back. So,
Guy is just sitting on the balcony railing, just putting really dim lights all on the ceiling so it looks like stars.
As the two of you come in, I gesture for the chairs and say, I have heard back from Spiros.
That is wonderful. What's news?
He is willing to meet tomorrow evening for dinner.
All right. Where was this be?
The Elfin Kiss. I think that he has a sense of humor because...
I think that is unlikely. I have spoken to the man. I think it is purely circumstantial. I'm joking. I'm sure that he is trying to bring some levity to what is surely to be a very tense conversation.
Yes. So I was super vague with Valentine and Lai Feng about that conversation, or about the whole situation with Spiros. So now that I have an answer, a proper answer, I will need assistance here in terms of justifying the meeting and not the murder, because I'm pretty sure that they just wanted me to kill him at this point. So, yeah.
What's the issue? Oh, I missed it.
Roderick, are you exhausted?
No, I'm fine. You said you had to explain the reason to not just kill him rather than meeting with him.
Because it's pretty obvious, and Apollinaire was there when when the safe house was raided, that their timeline was accelerated. And the acceleration of that timeline also accelerated what our role was in this conflict. So rather than negotiations and maybe some diplomatic espionage, direct action, things like, clandestine murders, speed things up.
Sure. But they hired us, right? Like, we didn't join them and like get recruited. They got us to do a job, so we'll just do it however we want, cause it's us, right? That's just the way it goes. It's our call to make, cause that's what they asked us to do.
Okay, well, I will have you explain that to them.
Where they at?
Because they're probably downstairs. I was waiting for you before I confronted them because, frankly, I'm afraid, and I've already told this to Gaia, so I don't want to play my hand.
Alright. We go talk to him right now. After we sit next real quick, make sure he's doing alright.
Yeah, he's upstairs.
Well, it's like the fire on your armor seems to be a little dim today. Why is that?
I got the shit kicked out of me yesterday. And I don't even poop.
Is it who?
So,
Yeah. Yes, well, it's we'll inform them of the current way of things, and we'll go from there.
Whichever of y'all are checking on Maximilian, he looks like a perfectly normal child who is fast asleep, except for, like I said, just a really impressive crisscrossing of scars all up and down his body.
Yeah, Roger will go give him a look.
Somebody cast regenerate real quick, just
Yeah, there's the look.
handle it.
Yep.
Guy is sitting on the foot of the bed, staring at her two cats.
They stare back.
With what emotion does Gaia stare at these cats?
It's just blank.
Just blank.
So were they.
We're on the balcony, right?
You
The
are.
internal balcony.
Oh, you said Gaio's at the foot of the bed, right?
Yeah, on the balcony.
Oh, okay. Yeah, never mind
Okay.
then, guys.
And it was explained what the little kitty cats were, right?
While they were briefly shunted away.
And we're supposed to not hurt the kitty cats.
I don't think Gaia said anything about it.
Yeah, Gaia just said that the cats were spying on her.
And that she couldn't speak freely in front of them because they report back to her.
Yeah, because they report back to the boss.
Well,
The big boss, even.
Roger's just gonna walk in there and scoop them up under the bellies and toss them off the balcony. Excuse me.
excuse me.
Just they'll be back very quickly.
Oh, I know, but I mean, it can't be free, right?
Gosh.
Doing anything else up there?
Watches the cats from the balcony and just.
Yeah, Roderick's gonna kind of check on Max, and it's gonna be kind of weird because Roderick's just like, okay, I'll look at him. I can't touch him.
He's just jabbing with metal fingers, like, seems alright to me.
The two cats go flying off the balcony. One kind of like lands awkwardly and rolls over, kind of standing up all poofed out and hissing. The other smacks into like a wooden table or something and vanishes in a inky puff of smoke.
They don't got many hit points.
Nope.
I got a good arm.
That's also a bad cat. It couldn't even land on its feet.
It rolled a natural 1.
What a shitty cat.
Oh no!
Cats should have like advantage on dexterity saves to land on their feet or something. These guys suck. Like evil cats.
Still,
As it will eventually, the one that didn't poof will make its way back up the stair, and about the time it reaches you, out of a shadow somewhere behind you comes trotting an irritated-looking cat.
Still looking at the same place that the cats were, Gaia will say to Roderick, the doctor said he would be okay. He just needs to rest.
You are very muted. Haha, someone pulled a me.
Hey! Oh, yeah, I mean, that's how it goes. Yeah, you know, magic healing can be that way sometimes. He's still a small bloke, so, chap like him, no, takes a lot out of you. He's just sleeping. He'll be fine.
You know, small folk can still die, Roderick.
Yeah. I've seen it happen plenty of times.
Me too.
He's got a point.
That right there is a healthy kid. He's just got the shit kicked out of him. Same as us. We're good.
You shouldn't have.
Yeah, that was kind of my fault.
It was all of our fault.
Well, I don't think it really was. It was kind of my fault. The guy was there looking for me.
We're all responsible for his safety. If she'll look at the cats again, if someone comes looking for me, I would expect that all of you would defend Max the same as if somebody was coming for you.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah,
we failed. And we can't let that happen again.
Right. Yeah. We'll make sure to keep a close eye on him. I mean, he's not going anywhere. He's safest with us anyway. Who else is going to look after him like we do?
I don't know. But
Go ahead, sorry.
she'll turn from where she was looking at where the cats were. She'll look at you and just say, Roderick, you look like shit.
It's insulting. I mean, not inaccurate, I suppose. But, I mean, sure, I got beat up pretty bad. What do you want me to say? It was a pretty tough fight.
She'll just kind of roll her shoulder. Yeah, me too. And he only hit me once.
Seraphina's downstairs, and I don't have a watch or anything, but I'm getting really, like, again, protective of Max and just, like, whisper very loudly at anybody who is up in the balcony. It is time to let him rest. Everybody get out of my house now.
I mean, he didn't wake up. He's still resting. He's fine.
Roderick.
All right, all right.
I was gonna say that actually shortly after Roderick went upstairs to check on Max, Paul and I would kind of watch him go up. I mean, assured that he's okay, and I mean, the guy is up there with him. He's just gonna turn to Seraphina. You know how Roderick can be, so. But while they're all looking in on Max, I will go speak to Lifeng and Pascal. As they come down, tell them I will be back shortly, and we will go from there. Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. Tell them, and if you need me to explain any of the specific conversation I had with Spiros, tell them that I will give them all of the details, but just tell them that he's agreed to meet. It would be us and preferably Pascal, but it could be someone else if they have a better person. But this is the course of action that we've decided to take. So, yeah, go and...
I will explain that to them as much as I can.
Okay.
Turn around and...
You head down the stairs, on the hall, into the meeting room, which the door is slightly ajar. And instead of Lifang and Valentine, you just see Valentine seated in like a house robe with a bowl of porridge and a coffee in front of him while he looks over some papers.
Goddamn, bro, really in the office like it's the house.
It is his house, technically. He also lives here.
Hey man, we're way more professional than that. As I walk in, just Monsieur Pascal.
Oh, good morning.
Morning.
Very early. How are you?
It was a long night. I think we are quick to try to move forward from it. I'll just kind of walk over.
He is looking over weapons shipments.
How exciting! I have news in regards to our mission. Is there other members of the council who would like to be present for what I have to say, or shall it be just you?
That depends. Lifeng was supposed to be coming by around noon. It would not be possible for any other members to be here on short notice. We could call an emergency meeting? That depends on the news.
I do not think that would be immediately necessary. I think, at the very least, it is immediately relevant to you. And, I mean, if you feel the need to confer with your colleagues, then you can disseminate that information as you wish.
Sets down his coffee and turns to give you his full attention.
Well, Selphina said that she had been vague in the goings on.
Incredibly, yes.
Alright. Well, as the meeting of Spiros, she revealed her purpose here within Gotham to him. He handled that without immediate violence, so as well as could be expected. He did not try to arrest her or the rest of us.
And the purpose of revealing...
She wished to gain his trust and goodwill, so that perhaps he would be more willing to honor the request, which was to, of course, she wished to have him meet once again, not only with all of us, but to have a conversation between him and yourself.
He just kind of takes his coffee cup and that big, like, oh shit. Big old swig of hot coffee.
I think she wished as best as I think all of us can gather. You and he are the opposite pieces on the board.
Yes, that is why after my acquisition, the elimination of him was the first priority for the council.
But part of the convincing of him to withdraw his support of himself and his countrymen from the governorship's forces would partially be in making it clear the cost to him and his that would inevitably be part of this conflict. And I believe that conversation with you was hoping to be able to accurately portray and convey that information. And perhaps carry some sympathy, perhaps an understanding of the people that he is placing himself and his troops against. She has received a response from him this morning confirming his intention to meet with her for a dinner, and presumably that would be for yourself as well to attend. That is what he is agreeing to. It will be tonight in the Sapphire Hotel. Tomorrow night in the Sapphire Hotel.
I see. He looks a little lost in thought, just kind of staring blankly at the table in front of him, still holding the coffee. I think if we can solve this, at least this portion of things, without that little extra bit of bloodshed, it will be a good thing.
If we can avoid making enemies of the Colossi, it will make the independence of Griffin probably much more long-lasting.
Make me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Really good.
Isn't that one?
No, not quite.
No.
Yes, 11. 3
All right.
plus 8.
The plus 8's very good.
Yeah.
Because his response is, I think we shall neglect to share this news with Lai Feng for the moment.
Very well.
But I will attend.
Fantastic. Good. And Gaia, the rest of us, and will also be pleasant, regardless of whether we are attending this dinner or perhaps to be required to be more circumspect. We will be pleasant, and if it looks like things are not going to go as the way we hope, we will make sure we have plans ahead of time for Gaia to be able to extract yourself and hopefully the rest of my companions. And I will be sure things are resolved as necessary.
Very well. He looks incredibly uncertain with his decision.
As he should.
If you have any further questions, of course, just...
Oh, so many, but I believe we will save them for the moment.
If there are any that we can answer, then do not hesitate. We will answer them
I
as
feel like
best of our ability.
I have been spending some time in the opium dens to be agreeing to such things.
I think if you are certain in the course of actions that is going to inevitably result in the loss of many lives, that I would be much more concerned. And
It is the
disturbed.
strategically weakest decision, this one. But perhaps morally necessary.
I think that this is a smaller risk than you think. We will just have to be, what is the word that Ian is looking for? Intentional with how we approach this meeting. Your safety will be assured. We will not risk allowing them to capture you again. Do not worry.
Let's go. be contemplating how you're going to keep me alive and out of their hands while I finish this paperwork.
Of course. It's your very busy morning. Like just gesturing to like his robe and coffee, just like it is good to have a relaxed environment. Ease the stress on the mind.
He just kind of like looks at you deadpan. And who would I be dressing up for exactly?
This is a very good point.
He
If you
turns back to his paperwork.
You have to get him a mani-pedi.
On
I'll head back.
one hand?
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway.
More useful for those than those guys bringing me food.
So, hey, that man Apollinaire got a whole slice of cake all by himself.
He deserved it too.
Apollinaire has a whole slice of cake all by himself.
All right.
Fireball.
You're losing
Man, did
your
you-
mind,
Have
my
that
guy.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Oh!
So as he Apollinaire makes his way back upstairs, what are the rest of y'all doing?
I'm making my way downstairs to go talk to these guys to let them know we're going to be doing a meeting instead of a murder.
Don't worry, I'm back. Hello.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Ah, howdy. I saw Cody start to salute and then fucking Skype crashed. Oh, I see.
Yeah, but you knew what the salute was. You knew.
Yeah, I
it
did. I saw the hand go up. I was like, "What's the problem?" I see. It's me. I am gone. Gotcha.
So, yeah. What were you saying you were doing, Roger? Before you
Oh,
interrupted by Ian's
I was
ghost?
gonna go downstairs to discuss us having a meeting rather than an assassination in the next couple of days. Essentially, to have the conversation that Serafina made sure I didn't have.
Yeah, I sort of head you off at the pass of like, Roger Apollinaire is having the conversation. Let's wait for him to come back.
All right.
And we can all sort of debrief.
It's
Yeah.
not a long conversation. Apollinaire will be rejoining you very shortly after this.
Gaia will walk up to both of you and just kind of like grab her shirt and look up and be like, I think that the man that we fought may have grown my clothing.
I would like to do an insight check, or what is this? Like to observe Gaia.
Perception or investigation,
Put a-
your choice.
Put a hand on her
Amazing.
forehead. She feverish. Like,
Perception is going to be just a 14.
She might be a little smaller than you remember. You're not sure.
Okay.
Her clothes do seem to be fitting a little loosely.
Okay. I
Sure
mean,
with your clothes in.
Oh, what was that?
He shrunk your clothes.
No, he grew them.
Oh, he grew it.
What's
Okay.
your passive perception?
Oh, goodness.
battery
My
fit.
passive perception is 18.
Oh yeah, you can tell just like guy a little bit smaller than usual. Not by much, but by a little bit.
Do, folk like you, they grow in, like, reverse.
No,
You get,
My-
like,
my parents looked older every year.
I mean, like, height. Because you're going
No.
down.
It's not just height. She looks like a little bit more childlike than she did before, which was already pretty childlike.
I mean, like, in reverse, like, you get a little younger, that's all.
Do we get a little younger?
Right.
No.
I mean, you look younger.
yeah, Gaia, but not by much, but
Yeah.
Wait, what? And she is going to cast Mirror Image.
This motherfucker said, "I'm gonna use a second level spell rather than go find a mirror."
I was gonna say.
Wait, no, I don't
Seraphina
have
has-
Mirror
I
image.
don't. I actually can't because it's not prepared.
Oh,
So-
Eh.
Instead, Seraphina goes into her makeup bag and pulls out a mirror and shows you. Like,
She got that premium makeup bag, a mirror.
Say, yeah,
in this
fucking
economy?
Seraphina flexing. She's
Like-
got a mirror, like a silvered mirror.
yeah,
Oh man, that do look like shit.
yeah, told you.
He goes, oh, ooh.
Yeah, you do. He punched me and I got younger.
Honey. That was rough. We are all we need alcohol. Something
Why
go
didn't any of you get younger? This isn't fair.
I might have gotten younger. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't feel younger. I feel kind of old, honestly. It's pretty terrible.
Oh god.
7 going on 70 over there.
Maybe you got some years taken off from you and they got put on me.
During this conversation, Seraphina goes and tracks down, I think when we had our big party, she hid away some of the like wine that Lifeang brought, and we are going to be day drinking. I go and
Oh,
just
that
like
room
get
temp.
the 2 bottles of wine and just like, I am going to drink. Does anybody want one?
Yes.
Just pour myself. I pour you a cup. Apollinaire.
So,
Oh, hello. Yes, I still. Oh.
Happy gentlemen.
It is a bit early in the morning for beverages.
it's like a very solid 8 o'clock
Yeah,
in
it's
the
like
morning.
8 a.m. I think I am past. Thank you. I'm no longer a young man.
Well, apparently I am getting younger. That man punched me and I got younger.
Yeah.
I'm quite
Did not
upset.
he just hit me with his sword and I've stayed just as old.
Well, look at it like this. I mean, you can just redo those years over. A lot of people would like that kind of advantage.
I don't want that. My parents died in those years.
Oh, well, shit.
Oh my god. No.
I'm sure that it is just a trick of the light.
So to DM, Seraphina day drinking is literally my indication of I don't have plans to go anywhere. I am going to stay in this building until the next day, checking on Max, and unless Lifeang or Valentine Pascal or somebody from the Order has some business with me, I am going to be planning out like what we're going to do tomorrow in terms of the game plan of like reconnaissance, that kind of stuff, because I think we all just need a moment.
A long rest.
A moment, 8 hours of sleep, any of a number of things.
There's only 2 people who even sleep. What do you mean we do not say sleep?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
So-
I'll fill them in on like what I kind of that Pascal had agreed to go to attend this meeting, but that he was not going to tell Lifeang right now.
Oh, I mean, if he's
did you explain that he's worried about his safety?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay,
Is like
okay.
that he was that seemed a very strategically unsound thing that I'd like. That was like that's our job is to make sure that he's gonna be fine no matter what.
we could do the flippy thing where we go to the place, they say they want to meet us, and they go, oh, well, if you want to meet them, you're gonna have to come to a place we designate. That way, you don't got like, well, in our case, people with crossbows on rooftops.
I mean, I mentioned that we would, be sure, like, check ahead of time to be sure that there was not a situation like that. But I mean, if we, this is outside of my realm of expertise. If we think that is better, that we'll meet with him and be like, well, if you wish to speak to Pascal, then you will come with us, and we will go to a third neutral location.
Right, like a park or something.
Don't
What does
ever
it
go to a
box are?
second location. That's rule number 1, is not going to a second location.
What do you mean? What is that? What rule is that? I do not know. I cannot say that I am familiar.
I will point out that the Elfin Kiss is not terribly far from where y'all are at. It is still within Carnival. It is just, so it's still on the third layer with y'all.
It is actually kind of a neutral location that they are proposing. It's just a neutral
Yes,
location
pretty
of
much.
their own choice.
Alright.
I mean, it is relatively nearby. I was thinking that if
Quick
Gaia is able,
interjection. Also to note, the time he gave was 9 p.m., which is an incredibly high traffic time for that area. Okay, sorry for cutting off.
gotcha, you're good. Because I figured you do a similar before. If Gaia could be invisible, and if things are to go south, Roderick, I hate to do this to you, my friend.
What's
But
up?
if we have you outside, in a good location, that if things go south, Gaia could invisibly Monsieur Pascal out to wherever you will be waiting, and you could get him to safety. If push comes to shove, perhaps, or
What do you want me to do with them?
get him back here, probably. Or well, it will be safe for him, because
Well,
if it is necessary for that to happen, it will be because things have gotten
If they're chasing us, this is the wrong place to go, right?
well, hopefully they will not be chasing you because he will have been teleported out to you.
Oh, he's gonna be teleported out.
Right, this
Well,
is
I mean,
these
they're
things
probably
that Gaia can do, and then this way
like
of us can.
folks waiting outside the ambushes,
I
right?
so I could turn Roderick invisible, and I could be a cat in the room. I could just be like Seraphina's friend.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe if we're gonna do that, I should probably get there early, and I can just sit still.
I think that's more. What's the word I'm looking for? The alcohol's already gone to my head. It's fine.
I'm not really good at sneaking about, invisible or not. I kinda,
No. So Roderick, you're very obvious. You are the only giant metal fireman in this entire city.
That's
They're all over the place.
She's right, you know.
And ultimately, I think we have bits and pieces of this. If Gaia can turn you invisible, if Gaia can be a cat, the fact of the matter is, if this is a trap, I'm already had. Like, Spiros has me as a Sylvan agent, and I look at all of you. If that's the case, you leave me. You take Valentine Pascal and you leave me.
That's funny. She thinks you're gonna do that.
Roderick, I swear to fucking God, you're going to listen to me in this.
Oh, I hear you.
She already clarified it was the god of fornication. You just won't listen.
Is that the fake one, or is there
Yeah,
a real
it's the-
one of those, Cody?
Fucking god.
It's the
Is
fucking
this-
god.
Is this
Yeah, the fucking
Are you
god.
talking about Father Alabray? That one,
Oh no.
because that's fake. I know that's fake.
No,
Okay.
but I have talked myself out of worse situations. but if the negotiations go south, I can get myself out of there.
What situation you talk yourself out of that was worse than going, oh, they're here to ambush me and kill me, but maybe don't. And it just worked out.
Roderick, I am 100 years old. There's so many stories. So many stories.
I will only accept statistically supported.
Can you cite your sources?
Absolutely not.
I want to.
I take another drink. So, no, I mean, you'll do what you'll do, but that is my proposal. I agree with Gaia of making Roderick invisible. Gaia as a cat. Apollinaire and I with Valentine Pascal. And Sparrows for Kitties.
Alright. So, we meeting him there, or are we gonna be there when he gets there already? Or before he gets there, I mean.
I'm a woman of always being early, so that is my plan is to get there 5 or 10 minutes early, and wait outside.
Alright. If it's actually playing, let's do it. I mean,
Okay.
Tomorrow night.
What we will all be pleasant, but I think that we should have an understanding of if things go south. What are we doing to get Pascal out to safety?
I will be in the room, and I will turn into Gaia, and teleport him out, and then Serafina. And
One of us should like ride a horse up there or something, and then he can be like on the horse and galloping away.
okay, I do not see a problem with that, except we do not have a horse.
Yeah, we do. We have 2 horses that we paid for and are being taken care of.
And if that fails, we could just use Coke.
I do not think that Coke is a particularly speedy getaway.
Well, I don't made any offense, but he's probably faster than a cat with no legs. So.
You do say it does have legs, though. They are just.
I mean, I've never seen him run on them things. I don't know how
Can
fast they
Coke
go.
run?
Well,
Okay.
So-
Okay.
so
So then
Thomas.
okay.
okay, so not Coke. Okay.
Okay. No. So then we'll take the horses. We'll take the horses, and that will be the exit strategy. We will tell like if Gaia extricates Valentine Pascal, she'll put him on a horse, and he can just go and escape and get away, and then we will be there to sort of deal with the aftermath.
Good plan.
Great. Pour myself
can-
another drink.
You can talk us out of the situation. There you go.
Serafina starting on her second drink at 8:30 in the morning now. It's gonna be a real long or a real short day for her. One of the two.
Gaia will also start on her second drink,
Oh,
but
shit.
not start it until we're done planning.
Okay.
That's very responsible of you, Gaia.
Some measure of wisdom here. All right.
She might
As
be getting
y'all are-
younger, but she's getting wiser.
Is there any additional planning y'all want to do? Because otherwise there will be no activity that y'all don't instigate until it is about time.
Okay. The one thing that occurred to me that Serafina would do, kind of out of guilt and kind of out of curiosity, is using a first level spell with my messenger to Alikos and just say, I hope you're all right. I hope you're resting. We are safe.
I'm being lazy and I don't feel like looking it up. Do you get a response back from that or no?
Yes, I would get a response back from that if they chose to.
Okay. Now, because that doesn't work like the messaging spell, you are going to have to wait for your fox to go scampering off and for it to come scampering back if it will be scampering back. Is there anything anybody else will be doing in the meantime?
I actually had a couple questions for you, Dungeon Master.
Let's hear it.
It's actually the same question, but just applying to 3 separate instances. In regards to like the regalia or like the livery of Koroth, Altus, and Griffin as a city-state, are any of them associated with animals? Like in the livery, like, you know, like a lion like standing like on a white field, or, you know, stuff like that.
The Korothi Thunderlances do, because their like unit livery is a rearing horse on a background of lightning bolts. But none of the others have animals as part of their
nothing
like national livery.
Gotcha. No animal association with either Altus or Griffin. Okay. But big horse for Thunderlances. Lightning horse, as it were. Would you almost say that it's a thunderstruck horse?
What else are you getting at?
I don't know. I'm percolating, so I just wanted to ask that question.
I would like to get a long rest and then head back to Durden Row to do some smithing.
Gotcha.
And probably spend some spell slots on some stuff.
What spell slots? You did not get a long rest.
After a long rest.
Oh, after a long rest.
Tomorrow. So when he wants to spend his spell slots right before possible bad shit is gonna go down.
Well, I guess technically my sleep schedule would be reversed at this point, so I'd be sleeping through the day, and then smithing through the night, and then sleeping through the day, and then be fresh to go into an ambush. I mean, negotiation.
I mean, rules are written that does work because he hasn't had a long.
You're going to be on a different long rest schedule than literally everyone else, but yeah, we can.
Jesus Christ. Oh, God.
So, Ian/Apollinaire, were you needing to know what the actual liveries were for each of them? I can send that to you, or no?
Only if they were animal related.
No, that is the only one that's animal related that you have seen in the city.
That is what I needed.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
For my current thought.
Gaia will, while getting shit-faced, crack open the book that was given to her by the elf ranger and attempt to start deciphering it. I know that that's going to take time and money. I have time, don't have a ton of money.
Decipher it. You speak Sylvan?
Mm-hmm.
And what are you translating it to?
Oh, I'm just trying to read it. Gaia and books.
Oh, that book. Sorry, I'm not gonna lie, my brain jumped to the child story book that was given to Max. So I was like, what are you doing? Gotcha. Yep, yeah, you'll have to take a moment on that, but you can get started if you so desire.
All right.
We have money, so if you need money, we have money.
Gaia should have money, I believe.
Yeah, I was like, we have
Gaia
money.
should have some dosh.
Yep.
Dude,
And
we got like 2,000 silvers apiece.
I didn't get told that.
Yeah. Everyone got
Big
2,000
homie.
silver.
Shit.
I'm sorry, smaller homie.
Also, split it how you will. The two of you, Apollinaire and Roderick, in offerings from the Durden Row town people, you made an additional 5 silver and 9
Could
copper.
we have turned that down?
Yeah.
Because
I
I 100% would have.
Yeah, I'm not going to take
No,
your
we're
money.
not taking money for these people.
Okay.
Or, I would spend some time if they insisted on giving me the money. I'd do something nice with it. Just literally put it right back in the community and buy something like some random knickknacks or some shit. Like just go to make one of those corner convenience store runs with a shit ton of candy or something like that, and then just turn all the kids loose as hellions in the street.
Oh, wait, hold on now. Wait a minute.
He says, "Let me do something good for the community." Proceeds to do something not good for the community.
Builds a community center instead.
It is the
But that burns.
raucous sound of happy screaming children. What more could you ask for?
Not that.
Sure. I'm gonna go ahead and say 5 silver and 9 copper is a lot of sweets.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just putting that out there real quick.
A box.
Because you gotta imagine, like, their version of candy is probably like shattered peanut brittle pieces or something, and you're probably getting like a full tray of peanut brittle for each copper. So,
what?
yeah.
Back in my day, I could go to the movies with a quarter.
Yeah, so have fun.
Yeah, I just like have a crate of that, I guess. Just like, all right,
Take some, give it to your mom and dad. Share it around. Don't be greedy.
Just throwing out packages like peanut brittle, strawberry brittle, sugar brittle.
Yeah.
All right. Oof.
Oh my god.
So are you taking your long rest here, or are you going back to Durden Row?
I was gonna go ahead and just take it here and then head
Okay.
back to Durden Row once that was situated.
So-
Once the sugar high had done subsided.
We know that we're going to do a hopefully quick interjection for Roderick's smithing prior to his second long rest. Is there anything anyone wants to do leading up to heading to the Elfin Kiss?
I was gonna suggest, because once again, having anybody buy themselves a bad idea.
You will be rejoining
Right.
Roderick. Okay.
No. I'm gonna ask, Gaia. Hello.
Yes.
Perhaps it would be good for you to get outside for a little bit. Would you want to go with Roderick? He's going back to Delden Row. You could perhaps, I believe you you made some associates among the kids that are on that way.
Oh,
Yep.
that is true. I have not seen my friends in Durden Row for a time.
That
And
is
it would
a
be
terrible
nice to
saying.
stretch my wings.
That sounds like a wonderful idea, then. And you can
Roderick.
help make sure that Roderick is not in any danger. With your
Roderick,
powerful
I'm going
magic.
to Durden Row.
With
Alright.
with Roderick, when he departs, you accompany him, and try to not stray too far from the forge, just in case.
I mean, she only looks.
I believe Roderick gave a bunch of sweets to the children there, so I don't
Oh,
think
not
they would
yet.
be opposed. Oh, that's happening today. Oh,
Y'all were there at like late night and headed back early in the
oh
morning.
yeah, that's
so
true.
y'all technically still have that.
I think
money, I was
Roderick was
assuming he would
planning
bring.
on handing out sweets to the children, so I don't think they would be particularly hard pressed to keep near the forge. So that way you do not have to sacrifice any of your social time.
No, you'll have to keep them away from the forge.
I meant like outside of the building. They're not in the forge,
Right, yeah.
but close by.
Forge with, little ones and sugar is a recipe for disaster.
Which that is as you will have to be the responsible party. You have to set a good example, guy. Make sure that they are not going too crazy. I heard that if you have that kind of leadership, people have a tendency to treat you as a more mature, older individual. That it's a sign of if you lead by example, that is a great sign of maturity. I will prey on her desire to be viewed as an adult.
Fine. But do I get some of the candy?
I do not see why not. I mean, that is up to logic. You have to convince him on the way.
I'll let you give it out.
Oh no.
I ate it too, of course.
Okay. We need
Zero children on Durden's Row are about to get any candy.
the bag of holding, which is just Gaia's stomach.
Oh no!
Amazing.
Let's Scooby-Doo that shit.
Have you ever eaten 30 pounds of beer and peanut brittle? Because that's what Gaia is about to do.
Oh God, yeah, she's drunk too. Oh no.
No, this is the next day.
Oh, okay.
This would be the next
tonight.
day.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we're going to Durden
Good
Row,
evening.
and like in the afternoon, it's all dusk, and they're like, "Don't you want to go home, kids, and not go to bed? Here you go."
Y'all are the worst. Y'all are like, y'all are being like that family member to all of the kids. They're like, when you go to a family function, that family member's like, oh, don't the younger members of the family, don't y'all want candy and stuff? And it's like 8 p.m.
Fuck you,
You're
fuck
like-
you, fuck you.
Yeah, and everybody, and the parents are all just like,
You're like, it's a holiday. They deserve it.
yeah, and their parents are just like, I'm gonna fucking kill you later. Like this.
Roderick is the uncle that gives noisemaker toys to his nephews
Oh.
and
Oh,
nieces.
oh, you're that guy. Got it.
Yeah,
Boy, that
he's
just
that
plays
guy.
Baby Shark on repeat.
No. He gives them the toy that plays Baby Shark on repeat after they get home and Roderick's not around anymore. All right, so before we get sidetracked any further, we are getting ready to go on break. Have we identified that as the only interjection? So we're going to get back, we're going to jump to Roderick's thing, and then move on. All right.
No.
No?
I hate to be that guy.
Oh,
I
no.
wanted to send a guy away for a reason.
Gotcha. In that case, we're not going to be expedient when we get back. We're going to keep on
Sorry.
keeping on.
I'm
So we're
not
getting ready to
sorry,
go
but
on
I'll
break.
say I am.
Everybody, take a quick trip to the bathroom, grab yourself some snacks, grab yourself some drinks. It's not 7 or 8 a.m. we're here, so you can have an alcoholic beverage as long as you are allowed legally. But don't get too drunk because you want to be able to follow what we're doing here as they either blunder or save the day or both. So we'll see you guys on the other side of this break. See you shortly.
My money's on both.
Bye.
Welcome back to episode 11 of Blood and Silver here in Hard Knock Dice. In the first half of the session, our heroes managed to make it back to their various places of safety, with one group indulging in some forge. I was going to say forgery, but that's not at all what I was meaning to say. Forge work, and the other getting the rescued child in bed and getting him some doctor's attention, who did confirm that he was okay. Everyone is reconvened, but they're about to break up again, heading back for some more forgery prior to a meeting with their original assassination target for a more diplomatic solution. So party, as you are drinking the day away in a couple of cases, or sleeping the day away in one other case, we will rejoin you guys. We understand that, Mr. Roderick, you are getting ready to begin a long rest so that you could have a productive work night at the Forge. Is anyone else doing anything at this very moment before we hop to the end of his long rest and he and Gaia depart, since they don't want to split the party too many different ways? Everyone's got to have a battle buddy. Is that it? Everyone partying / sleeping?
I'm just trying to. I'm bartending once more in an attempt to prevent Seraphina and Gaia from being like omega hungover tomorrow.
No, I
Important
think
question.
after what?
Go ahead.
I was like, after we have had our conversation, I think like I finish that second drink and then I go to water for the rest of the day.
Okay.
It's just one of those like I just needed like a breakfast cocktail to get me through the
You were
initial.
started your day topped off on stress. So, important question, Apollinaire, are you sleeping as well, since you also have a level of exhaustion from staying up all night?
No, I don't. I don't sleep, and I wasn't actively participating in the forging, so I got my long rest.
That is correct. Never mind.
I'm Gucci, like gumdrops.
You know, we forget when you don't have a sleep requirement. You just go right under the radar.
Yeah, I just felt progressively less shitty as the night wore on. Whew, resting, sitting on this nice comfy stool.
And yet, no vague whispers the whole time.
Thank God. Whichever one will listen.
So as we reach the end of the long rest, and at, like mid-afternoon / early evening, you guys will be departing for Durden Row. Unless I missed something in the first half. No.
Yeah,
Okay.
those two. Get her
So
done.
you head back to Durden Row, making a quick stop to purchase 59
Jesus.
59 trays of sugar candies for the local children.
Oh my God.
They're going to have to deliver some of that. They don't
Nope.
have 57 trays ready.
I'm just gonna come in there like I got a boombox.
No, they don't have 57 trays ready. But if you pay in advance, they'll bring it to you.
Can I like stop at a couple of different shops on the way or something? Yeah, just give me all you got.
Absolutely. Yeah, you just go, you clean out like 3 confectionery shops on your way by.
Perfect.
So yeah, you show up just like you said, just like I come bearing things to rot your children's teeth.
Yeah. They don't know about dentistry, right?
So
They're gonna lose those teeth anyway.
for reasons, we're gonna step away from you guys though real quick as you guys get to Durden Row. Because I want to go ahead and get this out of the way. Apollinaire, you said you had a conversation you wanted to have.
Yeah! I'm just gonna make sure they're gone, wait a few minutes, because people have a tendency to like turn around because people forget shit in this
Forgot
party.
my keys.
Yeah, I forgot my keys. I don't know. We've got a lot of like, wait a minute, I forgot this thing back there. But yeah, after they've headed out, thank God Sarah, she said she's not been drinking like crazy. But once they're gone, where has Saravina gone at this juncture? She's still just hanging out, or?
Yeah, I occasionally I go upstairs to the balcony to check on Max. If I have left at all, it is to go across the street to get food for you and I. But in terms of I think there's like a lot of nervous pacing and energy in me. I sent a message. I'm not telling you this, but just as a general, like I sent a message to Alikos, just like, I hope you're okay. I'm waiting to hear back from my parents if they will ever message me or like send me a message back. So there's a lot riding on everything we're doing. So
at some point, probably after you've come back down from checking on Maximilian, Connor will kind of come sit down for a minute. You are going to wear a hole in the floor. Sit down for just a moment and take a few breaths.
okay.
Okay. So, how are you doing?
That is a loaded question, my friend.
That is my job. I'm a grandfather, this is what I do, is ask loaded questions.
Okay. I'm doing as well as I can. I told all of you that it was the right of it. This is not something that I ever anticipated doing, of going against my oath, going against my people. And if this goes poorly, I will have ruined 75 years of work. And I know that's because if I get caught as a Sylvan agent, I will be executed, and there will be no one to take care of Max, and the Sylvan Kingdom will be fully out of this.
Okay, well, that sounds like regardless of how the conversation goes, then it is simply the truth of it that you cannot be allowed to be caught. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay. What do you mean maybe? Is that
Well-
it is a simple answer to that particular
Well,
problem?
I am caught already, Apollinaire. I am caught. They like.
You are not caught until they have you in cuffs.
Okay. I like your optimism there.
I do not think that this conflict is going to remain subtle for very much longer. Just from how things are progressing, I
Yeah.
don't think it is possible.
No, you are correct, which is why this meeting tomorrow night is, I think, will be the linchpin. Either Spiros agrees and joins our side in whatever fashion that is, or we've been had, and it will be open warfare. So now right now I feel like it's a 50-50 shot. I think we are truly 50-50 because I don't know. My hope is that maybe Alikos, seeing what we did yesterday, persuaded him a little bit in terms of who we are and what we do. But it could have also shown the horrors of things and made him think that we're all monsters. So,
Could have. I do not think that he seemed particularly horrified outside of whatever creature that Alton had become.
yeah, that's fair. Is there, aside from you trying to make me feel better, is there other lines of, is it there's a purpose to this line of questioning?
You were very distraught the other night, and I wanted to check on you.
No, I guess part of it also, after the conversation we had a few days ago, of my fears that the Elven people will not accept my request with Max, which means that he would not be able to go because humans are killed on sight in the Sylvanwood. So even if I disappeared in the middle of the night with him, I could not go home because they would kill him. And so I guess my other hope is that's riding on this is I do something big enough that the Elven King feels like I have fulfilled some sort of obligation to him, that he will agree to my request. So that's why I am so worried and nervous about all of this.
Okay. Well, I see. That is fair. I do suppose. And we will just simply have to succeed then. And from what I understand and what I saw, I'm your friend who was here previously, Monsieur
Galag.
Galag. Yes, Monsieur Galag. It just slipped my mind, you know. I do not see since a large amount of disgust or hate for the boy when he was reading him stories for bedtime.
Yes.
I see.
Yes. It's complicated.
Those things are.
Yeah.
All right.
My parents are, according to the language of their last communication with me, is that they're very interested in bringing in Max.
That bodes very well. I do not. I think that it is good. That in and of itself is good reason to look favorably upon the possibility. And I think it does no good to either the mission or your own well-being to dwell otherwise.
All right.
If you look for something wrong, then you will find it. Better not to look.
That's been my life, Apollinaire, is looking for the cracks and looking for the weaknesses, because that is how you work through all of the spying and the murder and all the things I've done. So
if that is what you've been doing until now, then now is as good as a time any is to step back from that perspective. Take a break.
Okay. I imagine it's pretty late, and I think Seraphina has been like, I haven't been drinking for a while now, but I'm still pretty tired. And I stand up and like clap you on the shoulder and go, you must have been the road therapist at your tavern, Apollinaire, because you're pretty good at it. And I will go up to my balcony and go, at the end of this, you can have my money and we can rebuild your tavern. I don't need it. And promptly like pull the curtains around, check on Max one more time. And that will be my...
Okay.
Max remains sleeping.
Yep.
Apollinaire, is there anything else you would like to do?
I've got some free time. I will continue using some scrap pieces of cloth to continue to do some basically what's the word I'm looking for? Trial runs of some embroidery.
Gotcha.
And just be thinking.
Sounds good. It will be important to note that over the night, the occasional commentary returns.
Awesome.
Just seem to have missed a stitch there now.
My hands my hand is not so steady ever since most of the feeling was burned out of it. That is probably the cause.
My apologies. He doesn't sound sorry, just for any personal record you may be.
Yeah, I gathered.
So with that, though, we will jump over to Roderick and Gaia, arriving at Durden Row with, I believe it is accurate to say, metric fuckload of candy. It takes approximately 0 time for the first child to notice and to begin shouting such, drawing the attention of any child not already locked in their house. You will make the last, 2 or 3 blocks of Durden Row being followed by a swarm of children, half of which their parents are calling for them to come home and leave y'all alone.
Alright. This is great. Those kids are gonna keep him up all night long, and they won't even be bothered by me doing all this sniffing.
What a strategy that is. So yeah, you get back to the Iron Bird.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I get there, I'm gonna get everything fired up and start seeing if we can make this ingot into something neat.
All right. Your perception check is pretty high. You're gonna notice that the forge is not in the greatest of conditions.
Okay.
The heat it was subjected to last night has partially slagged it. Just a bit. It's workable for now. But it was heated to many times the temperature that it was intended to be.
All right. I guess Roger will go about fixing that. Or take whatever is necessary. If it's not too late in the afternoon, if he needs to go get some materials or something like that.
Well, a full forge is a combination of
Yeah.
stonework and clay and all that,
Right.
which you kind of partially moltened the previous night. So those aren't usually just picked up; those usually are built.
Right.
So it's not out yet, but it's definitely noticeable. Like you walk up and you're like,
Shit.
uh-oh. Yeah.
All right. If it feels like it's gonna be like something that will mess up if I use it, I'd rather just go ahead and see if I can get materials to repair it, I guess is the better way to put it.
Yes, you definitely can. That would just be a project that would take up like a day or two.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if it's not serviceable to make something with this ingot in the...
It is serviceable for the moment. I'm just letting you know that it seems visually evident that it may not remain such permanently.
Okay. Well, we might all be about to get ambushed in the next couple of days, so I guess I'll give it a whirl to try and make this item, or at least get started on it, and see if anything breaks in the process. It's metal. If you mess up, you just melt it back down and try again.
So, as we get started on this little project, the previous night, as you were locked into your forging frenzy trance, which the memories of which are a little bit insubstantial to you. You vaguely recall visions of maybe being someone else, but they seem kind of misty and almost out of reach in some cases. It really was almost like a dream that you only remember halfway on waking. But you do remember pouring some of the fire within yourself into the forge. I want to know what all resources between spell slots and your channel divinity. Channeling or using your channel divinity will allow you to pour your flame into the forge.
Okay.
Each time you do this, you will tell me how many spell slots you are adding into it.
Is there any way I could cast Identify on this ingot to see maybe like what its properties are, or throw in a couple detect magic in there as well?
Which would you like to do first, identify or detect magic?
Let's try and identify, and then we can detect magic.
I will say for the moment, roll me a knowledge arcana.
Uh-oh. That's not gonna be good.
This is not a magical item in and of itself.
It is an 8.
All right. Roll a 1d4.
A 1d4. Okay. A 1.
You take 1 point of force damage.
Ow.
As basically whatever that metal is, because it's not iron and it's not steel.
Right.
It's nothing you've seen before. And basically, whatever that is seems to reflect your magic back at you.
Oh. Hey.
Gaia just kind of sticks her head into the door as she's creating like a little barrier at the entrance to the forge. Is everything okay in here? I heard a noise.
Yeah, it's just normal smithing stuff. It's all good.
Okay.
for probably a little bit more clear context, it wasn't like your magic ricocheted off of it.
Right.
It was like your spell hit it and exploded like a firecracker.
Oh. Okay.
So it detonated your magic. It didn't bounce it back.
Okay. So we'll just be blunt here. I was going to make this into like a shield of some kind, and the sheer concept of I will turn a thing made to attack and hurt and kill people into something made to defend and protect people.
That was brilliant.
But I don't know if that's so good if it's going to make me explode every time somebody casts a spell at me.
Tell you what, Ingot doesn't look damaged by your spell at all.
Hey, okay. Well, that's the goal. Is I was going to go for shield.
I'm going to need first.
Oh yes, I'm going to. I had a pretty good rest. I still got a -1 to all my stuff, but I'm a confident fella. I'll go ahead and drop everything but 2 first-level spell slots, just in case someone dies.
Gotcha.
So that is 2 first-level, 3 second-level, and 3 third-level spells.
So 17 total spell levels, right?
Sure, I didn't do the math. 6 and 9, so 15 plus 2, yeah, 17. And then the 2 channel divinities for whatever.
Well, this is for your first channel divinity.
Oh, okay.
So each time you do this, it will cost a channel divinity.
I guess
to augment your smithing with spell, basically, is what it's doing.
Okay. If it's going to be like a prolonged time that that's going to take, then I guess I'll just mix those up into half and half. So 8 and 9.
All right. Make your first wisdom smithing check with a +8 for your first one.
The +8 on top of the normal check?
Yes.
Okay.
This is, you said you're doing +8 for your first and +9 for your second.
Okay. So that is a 17 on the dice plus 16 for 32.
All right. Yet again, as you are hammering away at this large ingot, you find yourself in another place. You find yourself in several other places. The first time it is as it was before, with pale skin, actually able to feel like normal for the first time in your life, the hammer and iron that you're holding in your bare hands red hot. Then someone else. Olive skin, thick leather gloves, and a dark forge surrounded by brickwork. Another set of pale hands, Snow, you can see outside the window, hammering away on a broadsword, gloves protecting from the heat, and then back again to the marble and the bare-handed smith. You fall into a rhythm, striking this strange metal, resistant to both the heat of the flame, even augmented by your power as it is, and the steady blows of your hammer. You work your way through one hammer, eventually it becoming too dented and mangled to use, and you have to use one of your master's old hammers. 4 hours later, you kind of come to, shaking your head off, almost feel buzzy, like your friends describe having a few drinks of alcohol.
Oh. Hey.
You have a half-formed outline of a shield.
We'll keep on going. Second time +9.
+8 as you take another level of exhaustion from your first.
Oh, yeah. Dang it. That's true. All right. This one, not as good. 14. Well, I guess so. -3 this time. So yeah. So I guess what's that? 8 and 8 and 13. So 29.
29?
Yep.
All right. High or low?
Always high. He said 30 was the DC, you scrub.
That's my boy.
No, it wasn't. Second verse, same as the first. You lose yourself in a stream of memories or visions or something. And Gaia, 8 hours of solid smithing. What are you doing during all this?
So, at the beginning, Gaia would have set up the barrier at the mouth of the forge barrier for the kids, and just said, "Do not cross this line. If you cross this line, you will catch on fire. You will not be safe."
Got it. Gaia's going to set children on fire if they go too close to the forge.
Yes.
Understood.
And then she'll play around with them for like an hour or two, I imagine, until the majority of them have to go inside. And then Gaia would come inside, start talking to Roderick, which I imagine wouldn't respond since he's very focused.
He seems to have no notion that you're there.
She would continue to keep talking until she passes out.
Oh, fuck.
Just one of those like little kid ones where they're talking and they just go like,
and then
yeah, just like telling you about the day, playing with the kids outside, what they were talking about. And she'll be sitting on the wood pile and just kind of fall asleep on a log. This guy is not catching a level of exhaustion.
Roderick. Last hammer blow. Your head
okay.
clears.
Oh, okay.
You look down at a roughly hammered, shield-shaped disc of whatever metal this is. All it needs is the leather straps for the handles. You look off to the side and you see Gaia passed out up against one of the retaining walls, a blanket over her. A bunch of empty trays of candy, kind of haphazardly toppled next to the street, right at the edge of the forge area.
And so at this point, 8 hours has gone by. You said 4.
And both hammers were ruined.
Oh. Oof. I will need to get one of those. How do you repair a smithing hammer without a smithing hammer?
I think you know mending, don't you?
Yeah, I can repair them. Yeah, I'll if it's easy enough to do, I'm sure that there's some materials probably around the smithing shop and give this thing a quick buckle and get it finished up.
Yeah, you can do that.
Awesome.
I will say it is not a pretty shield.
Well, you can fix it later. It'll be fine.
The heat you were able to provide and the striking surfaces you were able to provide were not sufficient to create a smooth and whole looking shield. So it looks like one of those like copper vases or something that have like the rough beaten texture to it.
Oh, nice.
Not a bad look.
You're now that you've come to much more intimately understand this metal than you did before, you're not sure you would ever be able to engrave anything on it or attach any kind of rim to it because you don't think you could get a nail through it.
Oh, all right. Fair enough. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Just weld it to your fist.
Weld? Yo,
figure
this
it out.
forge has got a welder. This got a lot more interesting all of a sudden.
I feel like you could create a welder like magic. Yeah, exactly.
It's instead of shape stone, shape wood, shape metal.
So you are now in possession of an Aether Steel shield. For the moment, you will treat it as a +1 shield.
Oh shit!
Hold on now, what's that mean? Fold them up.
Oh
Wait a
shit!
minute. Hold on now. Whoa.
Let me go over to this character sheet real quick.
Got attune to it. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll take some time to attune to it. You know, kind of. I know it looks rough, but you give it a little waxing.
You can make it shiny and rough too.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Shiny.
But yeah, that is the end of 8 hours, and you feel about as bad as you did after getting your ass kicked by the Helmed Warrior.
All right. Big yikes. Hell yeah. Well, I will proceed to have that shield nice and made, repair the smithing hammers, and then see exactly how much I fucked up Ivan's forge.
Yeah, that forge is probably going to need replacing.
Oh.
You're not sure you could smith nails out of that thing right now.
All right. We'll get it situated.
But it's like an hour from sunup or something at this point, so.
All right. We'll hang out for the rest of the morning, and when dawn comes, hang out with some folks from town I hadn't seen in a little while, get some materials on the way, and then maybe come back and fix it at a time till we're not dead from a terrible ambush.
Sounds good. Apollinaire, roll me a quick.
Hold on now.
Hey!
I'm not rolling anything. Wait a second.
That wasn't a part of this. You go.
You said you were working in embroidery.
Yeah. I'm embroidering.
You are not proficient, correct?
Depends. What do you count would be in embroidery? I am proficient in weaver's tools, which is the closest thing I could find to like needle and thread work for tool proficiencies.
Was that what you intended when you
Correct.
took the proficiency?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
He has a
roll it
background
then.
as a tailor, so.
Dexterity and weaver's tools.
Hell yeah, brother.
We'll retitle it sewing kit or something along those lines.
Hell yeah, +6. Let's go. Yeah. 13.
Whatever you were attempting to embroider, it looks generally like what you were attempting to embroider.
Okay.
You don't have too many crazy loose threads, maybe a couple here or there, and a couple stitches off, but it looks clean enough for simple patterns.
He's kind of stuff it in his pouch of stuff. A handful of other like scrap, like squares, like little scrap squares of cloth.
Sounds good. So now, if we have nothing else to do, as Roderick is going to be taking another long rest here in a few hours, is there anything anyone is wanting to do leading up to the trip to the Elfin Kiss?
I go get Apollinaire and I breakfast. And also, this is very silly, but like try to debate on like what I'm going to wear, and also figure out how I can have my swords with me. Because I don't want to be caught off guard without my swords.
I can help with one of those, I think. One object, yeah.
Okay.
I can help for a better owl. At least I can conceal one of your swords at the most.
I just need the one. I just need one.
Let me make sure the components for that aren't anything. Oh no, it doesn't even have any material components. Let's go. Pull up. Purely somatic. Easy.
That's great, because that dagger did a lot of work.
Got you, homie. Yeah, it was pulling a lot of weight there.
So
I could get a sword that I could keep hidden pretty easily.
Seraphina, just a quick, casual, high or low.
Fucking damn it! I hate
No pressure.
these so bad.
No pressure.
We're gonna go with we're gonna blah, 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 blah. We're gonna go with high today. Let's go high this morning.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
He's shaking his head. That's bad.
That's good.
As y'all are discussing this,
Fuck.
you just hear,
That's fine. Hello.
how did I get here? You kind of look up and you see, like,
Yeah, shit.
Maximilian's head, like, peering above the edge of the balcony.
Well, good
I
Good
don't
morning,
feel good.
Maximilian.
I don't feel good. He's right over the balcony.
Amazing.
That is quite unfortunate.
He doesn't throw much up, though, I'm gonna be honest. It's mostly
job.
heaving.
Yeah, I sprint up there and like put him back into bed and go, Max, you were very, very hurt. And we went and got you. And Roger
Yeah.
killed you. I need you to
killed.
You got hurt very bad.
When? How? He looks mostly confused at this point. Don't forget, he was unconscious for that entire situation.
I know. Okay, how do I Apollinaire! Help!
Grandpa!
Yes, hello. Yes. I do look at you, Maximilian. You look fantastic. You look splendid for someone who's been sleeping. You've been sleeping for 2 days. You've been very
I feel
lazy.
like poo-poo, but I want to eat
Oh.
something.
I will get you food.
And water.
Yes,
Can I have some water?
of course, my sweet. I looked at Apollinaire. He wants to know what happened.
I just thank you for entrusting me with that
Go
responsibility. So, Maximilian, my dear boy, what is this last thing that you remember?
DM checks his notes really quick. Me and Miss Bellinger were going to go shopping for some things, food and knickknacks. And we were going... Where were we going? We left. I don't know, that's it.
Alright. Well, there was a very bad man, and he wanted to make sure that that we would go somewhere else that he wanted us to. So he found you, and he took you.
He took me.
That's what we were told. He took you to the Messalete outside of the walls, and we were told that that is where you were and that we should come.
Did he take Miss Bellinger too?
Miss Bellinger, because he was a bad man, did her very best to not let him take you. You know, like all those very brave people do in your stories. But brave as she might be, Miss Bellinger, this man, he had something very wrong with him. And so he was not like a normal man. Just
Where is Miss Bellinger?
I think at this point, Seraphina has food and water and goes, Max, dear, this bad man killed Miss Behringer and took you.
No, she was mean, but she took care of me.
I know, sweetie. I know. But...
And he looks just lost.
I know. And I sit down next to the bed and I put my arms around him and I put my head on his, or I put my chin on his head and I tell Max, Roderick, myself, Apollinaire, and Gaia went and got you. We saved you from the bad man. And I know that Miss Behringer took care of you. But now I will take care of you. Okay? And I will never let anyone hurt you again. Okay? You just have to promise to listen, okay?
So just for preserving my own level of trauma and how much emotional devastation I feel like, I'm not going to roleplay his denial for the next half hour.
Yeah.
But that is what you are dealing with, is at first denial and then tears. As he's a kid. He has a hard time with something like this.
Yeah. I have like fully like wrapped him up, and any crying, any like hitting, any of his reactions, I'm there. And I'm holding him.
No hitting, there's no lashing out. It is simply him clinging to whichever or both of you is close enough to do so.
So
he will eventually tucker himself out and pass out again.
Okay. Once he's fallen asleep, I will tuck him back into bed, put water and food next to him, and take a really like turn away from Apollinaire because I'm very embarrassed and like wiping away all of the tears. I'm like,
I made the decision I made about not role-playing that out very intentionally, so...
Yeah.
I would like to preserve my last shreds of dignity on screen on Twitch. So...
I have no dignity. I've already cried several times.
Cheers.
I have waterproof makeup on, so we're going at it. But anyways, I turn to Apollinaire and go, all right, well, the worst of it is yet to come with him, but we will be here for him.
Of course. And he's a strong child. This is something that he will recover from. My camera is very struggling.
Yeah.
But
so I depending on what time this is, like, is it in the morning, DM? That
okay, this is maybe an hour or two after sunup at the latest.
Okay. So yeah, so then I go back downstairs and leave him to rest. And I guess I start just pacing again. Waiting for messages, waiting for Roderick and Guy to come back, waiting.
DM, while she's doing that, Apollinaire's gonna leave her to her thing.
Right.
But I'm gonna do some more sewing, but with purpose this time. Like, this is something that I just something more practical. I want to find specifically like some like bright gray almost that you could pass it off as like kind of almost silver cloth, like whatever would pass for something of that along that nature, as well as just like a bunch of like scrap rags and things, and maybe some like sturdy sticks.
Okay.
I want to try to make a little like night doll.
All right, roll it.
Like, nothing terribly like complex, but with enough distinguishing features that it's clear like what that is, with like a little stick sword. It's got like a little stick cross guard.
It's like a corn husk doll, but with rags.
Yeah, but yeah, like stuffing the I'm trying to get some linen that like or cloth that will like pass as like, it's a knight in armor, like metallic armor, like it's in full plate.
Roll it.
Yeah, stuffed with rags. Yeah, for the filling. Yeah. It's rough. 10.
10?
Yeah. That's okay.
It is recognizable as humanoid.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps when explained as a knight, you could see that it is supposed to be a knight.
We may circle back. We'll see. That's fine.
It's like one of those like abstract arts where someone's like
DM,
standing there looking at it.
I totally forgot. Would you allow me to add my D10 to that?
Your D10?
Once per short rest, I can add a D10 to an ability check or saving throw with Dark One's luck.
Oh, yes.
Or if Apollinaire
You
says
evil
what
little
he's...
bastard.
Or
I was going to say, if Apollinaire says what he's doing, Seraphina could help you.
No, he's letting her do her thing.
Okay.
Yep. You may roll your D10.
Jesus Christ.
Let me know the
Into
result
the
on
tray.
that.
Oof. Not that much better. +2 for 12.
+2. You figure that if someone were to take a few moments to look at it, they could figure out that it's a knight without you telling them.
Fantastic.
So, I mean, it still takes, like, passive perception might not pick it up for your average person, but active, yeah.
Okay.
All right, y'all may spend the rest of your day up and until go time as you will. You said you wanted to leave a little early. Meeting time is 9. So y'all are probably going to want to be heading out like 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
Head back to the theater, get some rest, some light whittling maybe.
Yeah. Anybody else? All right.
Oh, is Max up and around, or did he just get up temporarily?
He's
like,
back
okay.
easily.
Yeah, he was up for like 20 minutes and then he fell back asleep.
Okay, gotcha.
He might wake up like to feebly eat some bread and cheese a couple of different times, drink some water, but still largely bedridden.
Gaia will, when she gets back, crawl into bed next to Max as a cat and curl up into a little ball.
Nip-nap time.
Try to lend him some warmth.
He barely reacts. Big
But he
tired.
reacted.
Sure. So, that being said, 7 o'clock arrives. Y'all have awoken. Y'all have dressed yourselves for the event, however that is. Armed yourselves however you plan to. And ready to go. Complete with your nondescript traveling companion, Mr. Pascal. He has the face of a man who has made a horrible, horrible decision and is only vaguely regretting it. You are very muted, Mr. Ian.
That's pretty good. Only vague regret is like, that's pretty solid.
We're getting there.
Nice.
Oh, he only regrets it a little bit, but he very solidly believes it was a terrible, terrible decision. Like he's got that "I am so fucked" look on his face.
Totally good.
As we walk with him, I've taken the crook of his good arm, and I'm just saying, in talking to him of like, I know that this seems like the worst decision, but I do think that this might be for the best. Just trust me.
Oh, it is not you that I do not trust. Just for the record.
I think that I trust this man, at least from the meetings that I've had.
Excellent. If he runs me through, I hope that you will feel bad.
If he runs you through, then I'll murder him just like the plan. And you won't get murdered because Gaia will have bounced you out of there and it'll be fine. We've got this in hand.
I hear that in situations like these, things always go according to plan, and there's no unknown factors that really throw things off. I'm very confident.
Didn't you know
He
that
does not look confident.
us rescuing you went off perfectly? I'm trying to be funny. Like,
You can just see him remembering the screams and the fireballs, and he was like, yes.
He didn't see the fireball. He was
Oh, he
in
could hear it.
He was in the carriage.
He could
He
hear
was
it
in the
just
back.
fine.
He couldn't see shit. Fireballs aren't explosions. It's just there's no concussive force. It is just.
I've been around enough fires to know those are loud still.
It was like there was distance between that and the back of the carriage. It was fine.
okay.
So joking aside, any other planning or commentary before y'all reach? Y'all are en route, walking down the road. A really weird family.
How early are we going? How early were we trying to get there?
You're leaving around 8.
Around 8. Okay, so
What is this building made out of?
The theater or the Elfin Kiss?
The Elfin Kiss.
Almost all buildings within the city walls are made of the same white stone.
Cool. Good
Gotcha.
to know.
There are either additions made to them or a few later added buildings made either out of brick or gray stone. But this one is probably, because it is in the 3rd ring and most additions are in the 4th, probably made of the original white stone.
All right.
when we're just about there, can everybody be like, is it Celestine, if you give me your sword real quick, and just like stop us at like a relatively unobtrusive spot and spend about 10 minutes doing the ritual, which I'm not entirely sure. I don't know how to do or think magic with just somatic components. Somatic components of some kind with my burn hand, casting wrist pocket on her sword, so I can
See, I'm envisioning it
pocket
like
dimension that bitch.
like in Hunt Showdown when you're getting a clue and you're just
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Just sitting there, just kind of, but very slow motion because it takes 10 minutes.
yeah, so just so you know,
Dimension. Pocket.
unobtrusive in this scenario means hidden in a crowd. It is a weekend night. It is 9 p.m. You are in the Carnival District, the Sapphire District being part of it.
So that means somebody being kind of like kind of weird is not out of the ordinary.
Yeah, you just found a particularly like out of the walkway space to be weird.
That's perfect. As long as it's not going to get anybody's attention, that's all I need. So for the next hour, I can blip that sword in and out of existence with an action.
Yeah. If like absolute worst case scenario, someone thinks you're a street performer and stop and watches for a few seconds. It's very boring. They move on.
There's nothing. I'm working on my act. Do not worry. It will be wonderful. Come back later. Yeah, so sword ready.
Now we're walking the packed streets. You get to the area in the Sapphire District, which is where a lot of the shopping and stuff generally is. You have a lot of the stores. You have a lot of the restaurants. You have the Elfin Kiss.
So is he asking to meet? Do we know like where he's asking to meet? If he's like, oh, I'll have a room for you in the back or anything like that.
He did not specify at first.
Okay.
But if y'all have nothing more to do before you approach the door,
look for any obvious ambush.
Yeah, I was gonna do
out
a bunch
front.
of. I was gonna do an investigation check or perception.
Yeah,
Any
we're seeing
guys
people
not
casing
sure,
Wow.
roll them. Roll
Yeah.
them. Let's see it.
fucking sussy.
Not
Would you
me.
say,
I'm currently a
would you
cat.
say I would have been able to get a short rest between my making of that night doll and now?
Sure.
Hell
Are-
yeah. Got me 10 back.
Actually, you had like super plenty of opportunity. I can't even like give you the sure.
I just wanted to be sure. Just in case.
It's going to be an 18.
More than enough, because he is not trying to hide from you. You see someone kind of stashed out of the way, not, moving in any direction, not going into the building, but standing outside of it. And you recognize him, and at first it's like, hooded figure, who the fuck, defensive mode. But then as he walks towards you, realize it is Alikos.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hello.
So,
Shall we go up?
Yeah. Yes.
Sure. Let's do it.
He turns around and goes to the door. At the door, says, private party upstairs. And y'all are led by a staff of the Elfin Kiss up the big wraparound stairway that goes around the left side of the room, up to the balcony where you can see a few doors that lead to, like, private dining rooms. You're led to one of the private dining rooms. The door is opened. The entire aesthetic is intended to come across as what humans would perceive as Sylvan. Lots of like carved trees, like the woodwork. The outside may be stone, but the inside walls are all wood that have been carved to look like trees. And have carvings of leaves and all that. Like, it is impressive. It is impressive carpentry.
Yeah.
It is artistic. It is not at all what elves live in. But humans don't know that. And there is what you probably find is like lightly offensive, Seraphina, is a like nude kind of in the middle of like a dance move wooden girl with long elf ears posed on like carved into one of the walls with like a branch of ivy covering her breasts, a tree limb covering downstairs, the whole, it's this artistically covered nude, but it's like it's clearly there just to be ogled.
Yeah, right. I think that as we're going through, two things, I would like to make a check to see if there's anybody that looks suspicious down here, like they're again, ambush sort of thing.
Yeah, roll me a perception check.
Great. That's not going to be as good. That's only going to be a 12.
It is packed very heavily. While this place does serve as an eating house and a drinking house, at this time of the night, it is basically a tavern.
Okay.
You have based on this skill, probably either a bardic student or someone associated with Susurros, but dressed head to toe in, again, what is perceived to be like elfin attire, playing music, and it is like people waiting in line in multiple places for drinks.
Okay.
So just in that packed crowd, it is almost impossible to tell. You don't really see anything.
Okay. So I did that, and as we're going up the stairs, I say just loud enough for probably Alikos and maybe Valentine. Cute. Glad humans think that we are like this. Cool.
Covering Gaia's eyes as we like. That is obscene.
That guy just kind of tilts her head up to you, and telepathically sends you like, I don't think any of us have done this.
No, it's kitschy. It's okay. Let the humans have their thoughts, and go up to the room with everybody in tow.
So the private dining room itself is very similar in aesthetic, although with a little bit more intent on elegance. So more like brass fittings. There's actually a few live plants over near the window and in the corners. And there is a small fireplace, which is not currently in use as it is. Actually, it would be used because it is late spring. So at night it is probably a little bit cool. So there's, a little bit of a crackle going. There is a large rectangular table at which seated is Spiros. And that's it.
This is like an awkwardly large table for the number of people who are attending.
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to be sure.
This seats
Awesome.
20, and
Is
it
this
is 7 people.
Yeah.
So it's like the first Batman movie, awkwardly long table.
Yep. Pretty much. That's what I
Nuts.
think.
Let's go.
I look at Spiros and curtsy and indicates to sort of Valentine without saying his name and go, Spiros, this is the individual that I was hoping that you would speak with.
Your associate. Very
Yes.
glad to meet him. Take a seat. I figure before we indulge in more serious matters, we'll at least have a meal. As I'm sure you appreciate the aesthetic, at least their food is good.
I just give him a look of like, I hope.
Deadpan face, doesn't even crack a smile.
Yeah. Yeah, I sit down and look at my friends.
Y'all are seated
Pussy.
for just a moment before the person who led you in is like, so is there anything you would like to drink in particular?
Don't drink. Don't eat.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Then, and the rest of you?
I look at the person, the server, and go, "Would you just bring a nice bottle of wine, and we will share that amongst each other."
Very well. Spiros just kind of spreads his head in assent. Alikos doesn't react. Gaia and/or Apollinaire, any commentary or actions?
Gaia is currently a cat, so she is
never mind.
rolling on the
Kitty
table
cat.
and in front of Seraphina, and will probably just kind of lay there.
The staff begins to say, we do not usually permit animals, and Spiros just goes, it will be okay.
She's an emotional support cat. Seeing
All right.
Emotional.
That's in character.
Yes.
He departs. Y'all have a few minutes to chit chat before he returns with your bottle of wine and cups for everyone except for Roderick and Gaia. And the first course will be out in a little bit.
So, small talk into the big talk then, right?
I intend to have a conversation in private with your associate. But before that, I make myself available to you. Discussions, questions, assassinations.
Sure.
I must say that I'm quite curious. What's your response your allies have had to the incident the other evening? And just kind of glance at Alikos.
Which allies?
The ones to whom it would be relevant. The Altons.
The Altons are playing it close to the chest, but they are looking for something. They won't say what. I believe it has something to do with their Knights of the Circle. But while I can command their ground troops, I have no sway over their knights. They act of their own government. Other than a brief report about some conflict in the Mesalete, these already do not care. It is not their business.
And how is it that you are feeling about a monster of Alton creation wreaking havoc here within the city?
It was Alton.
Just
It was
look
Alton.
at Alikos and just kind of hand out. I believe it seemed quite
He has given me
violently
his
so.
report. I want yours, if you would give it.
I step in at this point and go, when we went down to the Messalete to rescue a child, he was in Alton military uniform, not knight like I thought it was. There's some sort of connection to Roderick, who might be able to explain a little bit more. But
Just turns to look at Roderick when you say that, but doesn't otherwise change expression or anything.
this being, I guess, was once a man, but he was a monster. He was a monster. The power that he wielded was something that I had never seen in my time. And he nearly got us. He nearly got us.
Would you like to know what I found when I made it to the scene of the conflict?
Yes.
The shattered corpse of a man dead months. It is as if it had rotted away in a matter of hours, and it was gone completely by sun.
Well,
So I am inclined to believe your description of it as a monster.
right. Well,
How was
we
the
got.
boy?
Well,
Go ahead.
yeah, we healed the boy. He's good.
He will be well.
He'll be fine.
He awoke briefly this morning, and we are comforting him because his caretaker was murdered in order to get to us. And I am sure that Alikos, or maybe he was preserving some of my dignity, but I frankly have no more, so I will say plainly, this child is very dear to me, and I have decided to take on some sort of caretaker role to him in whatever capacity that looks like.
Will you be able to safely provide while she kind of glances over at Valentine, performing your current duties?
I have a lot of magic at my disposal, and I hope that will do it until we are able to end the current conflict. And then I will take him away from all of this.
He sits quiet for a few moments after you say that, and he looks down at the table and looks uncertain for the first time since you have met him. He has been incredibly stoic at every meeting, but he furrows his brow as he looks down at his glass of wine.
The safety of the child would be much more assured if the Sunderlances and their commando would not participate.
That will be a discussion for me and your friend. But I may know somebody who could take care of the child for a while, outside of the city. If you desire it.
Well,
Insight check.
the whole purpose of having this talk is to, have a little as fighting as possible, right?
Say that one more time. I could not hear you through your thing.
I said the whole purpose of this talk is to have it a little as fun as possible, right?
That may be your intentions.
Yes. I don't know where Roderick is sitting or if Eve is sitting, but whatever the case, I hold my hand up to you and go, Roderick, our friend here will speak to Governor Rakides here, and they'll have their conversation as needed. But in response to the safety of this child, and I'm trying very hard not to cry, in person and in character. He is the reason why I told you. He has changed the heart that I thought was stone, and I cannot see him hurt like he was, and I can't bear to think that other children might become like him. And so if you promise that he will be safe, then I will trust you, because I love him very much.
I need you to understand that this is also me giving you an incredible amount of trust. This caregiver is someone I trust implicitly, even with my life. And he does not blink or break eye contact with you, Seraphina.
I think that at this point, I'm keeping eye contact, and there is, I'm straight backed, but there are tears, and I just nod and just don't say a word.
I will arrange it during my discussion with Pascal.
Thank you.
While they're looking at each other, Gaia will stand up on the table, just on her forepaws, and walk over to Alikos and telepath.
He is staring at Spiros.
She'll go and sit on his lap and just say, if he tells me to leave, I am your friend. Try to keep me in the room as much.
Make persuasion check at disadvantage.
That is 9? Oh.
Can I make it?
Right?
Yeah, what's your roll?
Are my cats in the room?
Is there any reason they wouldn't
7
be?
to 5.
I can't stop them unless I
You yeet them out.
yeet them out.
Did you yeet them out? Then no. They did not get yoted.
That's a lot of cats. in
Oh,
this
I
room.
dropped a natural 20. Oh. Okay, but it did make the roll worse, so 14.
14. Is he able to respond to your message?
Oh.
Yeah. As you say that to him, he kind of looks down a little bit surprised. You seem to have broken some kind of train of thought that he was in. And he just goes, nice try, little one. Like, lifts you up, places you on the table.
The cat batting with no claws.
Spiros looks very confused, but Alikos is just chewing you off across the table.
Does Pascal look like he is not very happy to be in the room with a person?
Oh, he is pale.
Okay, I didn't know if this was like one of those things like this is the last place in the world I want to be, or like one of those you made me lose 3 body parts. I fucking hate you more than anything. This is taking all my willpower not to go fucking ballistic.
No, this is more the face of a man who's like 90% convinced he's about to get assassinated.
Cool.
I'm terrible with names. I meant Pascal.
Oh, you're in Pascal's lap.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I was curious as to the strategy, but I was like,
Gotcha. No persuasion check needed. And you are still sitting in Pascal's lap. He seems to forget that you're not an actual cat and begins to like stress pet you, just out of like pure force of habit.
Just
He's not
angry
looking
cat
at you,
face.
just like staring into the middle distance while like petting you.
If he pets the wings, he gets a little wing tap.
Make a wisdom saving throw. The petting feels nice. I'm joking. Yeah, you are sitting, and if you don't immediately have any other questions or things you would like to say, the first course is brought in.
I mean, we none of us heard the mental communication from Gaia, so as far as we're aware, this dude's like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to Pascal by myself, like just us. So I am gonna say, like, just gonna head this off at the best I'm gonna try. I understand that you wish to have a private conversation with him, and I am perfectly happy to for you to converse as you see fit, but you must understand our trepidation at leaving him alone with someone who is at the moment the commander of a much larger enemy force.
I understand what you say. But have I not already entrusted you with the safety and well-being of myself and my brother?
To some extent, perhaps. But there have also been recent acts of aggression that have increased the stress and concern for the well-being of our most important members.
I understand your trepidation. I have given you this vote of confidence. And he just kind of like holds out his arms at him and Alico sitting across the table from the 5 of y'all. Yeah. Says, I ask that you do the same.
I'm gonna look at Pascal. This is up to him.
An incredibly curt nod.
Yeah. I look to Spiros and say, based off of the conversation we had a couple days ago, I mean what I say. I'm here to make sure that you're protected, because I did ensure that. And I'm also here to make sure that Pascal, who over great energy we rescued from the Altans, it was a lot of work. So I am also here to protect him. So
quite
just know.
Spectacular. Is my understanding the caravan was attacked by a group of demons?
I look to Alikos and go, I don't know, we were kind of demonic the other day, or a couple nights ago. And with the hope of, like, I don't know, lightly joking. I'm trying very hard to, like, not cry again, and so this is a Seraphina's poor attempt at humor.
Alikos has remained unspeaking as of yet.
Cool.
Spiros has done all of the talking. Alikos has not opened his mouth yet.
Great.
Rumors are dangerous to believe in their entirety.
Of course.
Yeah.
What kind of a general would I be if every time I heard a rumor, I assumed it was true.
I start to eat.
Yeah.
Just
You're all getting
nervous.
poisoned except for Roger.
be fine.
The food is, I'm not going to go into like some kind of like double blind test where I try and explain what humans think that elves eat.
It's all salad.
It's people.
That's how you know they're wrong, is because it's not. It's some kind of light sweet bread. Of course, like everything else you've seen here, it is ornate. Seem very much about appearances here. So the bread is like woven and dyed and has like
I message Gaia and go, I've never eaten anything like this.
It doesn't taste bad. It's pretty good.
No, I mean, but it's just like, it doesn't, like you said, doesn't look like elven like food.
Just message back. There's not enough seeds.
Yeah.
So.
And I think not to Sarah, not to Gaia, but I also think like not enough meat.
You don't always eat people. That's only for ceremonies.
Mr. DM, how thick
what's
are
up?
the walls in this establishment?
Pretty solidly thick. Like I said, they're made out of white stone, and in addition, they have added wood paneling to all of the walls so that they can do the elaborate forest carvings.
How many
Okay.
C's we talking here?
What?
Thick. How many C's?
God damn it. He's saying, is it thick or is it like thick?
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
So there's wood paneling on the walls. Is it fully over the stone?
Yeah. Like you can't see the stone from the outside.
Okay.
In most
so,
places, there's probably like instead of having like wooden walls and like floorboards, it's wooden walls and like at the bottom you can see like an edge of the stone, and at the top where there's an
Gotcha.
indentation.
Gotcha. All right. Well, what about the floor? Floor is also wood.
Thick carpet.
Ceramic tile.
Well, I mean, tile stone, right? Right? Okay, thank you.
I was imagining
Although-
a restaurant with shag carpet now, and it's just awful.
It is wood outside of the private dining room. The expensive ceramic tile seems to be for the private
Oh.
party areas.
Oh, okay.
So you don't get the Kool-Aid Man through the walls.
No, it's just the opposite.
Wood paneling.
Just the opposite. I was just going to meld into the wall so that I could hear things that were happening on the other side. Like, oh shit, something's going down.
Gotcha. About the only place where you would be able to do that would be on the ground floor. That has a stone floor, but that would kind of defeat the purpose because there's like 900,000 people down there, and it's not connected to the private dining room.
That's a lot of those.
Just gonna have to go outside and meld into the fireplace or the chimney.
Ah, Santa bot.
I get resistance to fire. I could climb through there pretty okay.
For how?
So,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I have a rules question because this is something that's come up in a different campaign with other people. Minor illusion. It says it is
Oh,
a
yeah.
5 foot square. It says that you can make noise. Does that
Mhm.
noise carry outside of the 5 foot square?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
The 5-foot square is for the visual portion of the illusion.
Okay.
I believe it says, I will pull it up real quick, but I am pretty sure if I remember correctly, because this is one of the only cantrips I actually use.
I don't think it specifies how far the sound travels.
It does not. It
Yeah.
says a lot about like it can range on
From a
volume.
whisper to a scream. So I would rule that personally as it can be heard from the same distance as anything from a whisper to a scream.
I've had it ruled the other way, where it is
Yeah, which
that can be a
I
scream
told,
in a
I already
5
told
foot
you that
square.
was stupid.
Yeah, no. I'm telling you, as a DM, I would say it says, without further modifiers, it says a whisper to a scream, and it doesn't have any other addendum to that. So I would say its carry distance would be the same as from a whisper to a scream.
All right.
Now watch that bite me in the ass at a later date. All right. Yeah, so what conversations? Y'all have Alikos and Spiros at the dinner table with you.
Is Alikos eating?
Alikos
or is he just staring at his brother?
No, he was only staring at his brother while his brother was talking about whisking the boy away to a trusted friend.
Oh. It's their mom.
But no, he is now like
prediction.
Now he's like picking at the food. It's the first course. Y'all will be getting 3 courses of food.
Hell yeah.
4, including dessert.
Too rich for my blood.
Is not a cheap place. If you couldn't tell by, the hand-carved wooden walls on every surface. And ceramic tile floors.
I thought it was like Olive Garden.
Oh, yeah.
I think that if we're just filling air with idle conversation, Seraphina is trying to be personable and like, we don't actually have trees that look like that. And just like,
make me a persuasion check.
I just don't believe you.
Persuasion is all of 12.
That's the check. Let's say you get a quizzical questions. The first word's actually spoken by Alikos, and he says, "So what do you have? If not these, I don't even know what these would be."
Yeah, so I think that, again, I'm just filling air because until Spiros goes and has the private conversation with Valentine, I'm assuming it's just going to be,
This is y'all's opportunity as players to ask questions or have conversations with these 2 people that you would like to have.
Yeah.
Gaia opens her mouth like she's gonna respond to what Alikos says, but then realize she's
You're a cat.
And so she just, to try to hide it, meows, and then tries to take a bite of the food in front of her. That isn't hers.
Amazing.
Pascal goes to stop you, and then he remembers that you're like a person and just lets you take a bite of whatever course of food is out at that point in time.
It's so unsanitary.
To be fair, she was just in the normal humanoid form. It would probably be really unsanitary too.
Yeah, but there's not
Pascal
get, cat hairs and stuff when she's.
Pascal ate Miss Behringer's cooking at least once. This is much better.
Oh God.
I think that I would answer Alikos' question about at least the flora and fauna of the Silverwood, and then I think the bigger question I have is, do you have any other information about what's going on specifically with the Altons? Because, frankly, the only 2 conflicts that we have been in, actual, is the Altons with Valentine here, and the helmed knight person monster thing from a couple of nights ago.
What specifically are you wanting to know?
Is there... You, as a general, you said you don't take stock in rumors, but is there any rumors amongst the Altons of experiments?
There's a fine line between believing every rumor I hear and keeping track of them for when they do have truth to them. I still keep an ear out. The problem is you have two Alton authorities in the city. You have the Alton governor, Raphael Mazzanti. He technically is in charge of the troops and the other Alton staff, which, as the commander of the governing forces, their command then falls to me in turn. But then you have the Knights of the Circle. They have their own, don't know how you would say, some kind of priest. They keep him hidden away in their little temple. They answer to him. I can't do anything about it. And they have been the ones looking into whatever carnage the friend that you put away the other night was. They were looking for him too. Or so I can gather.
If these are effectives of significant military strengths that you have no control over, do you have any idea how many of them there are in the city?
They come and go freely, but at any given time, perhaps 10.
All right.
I'm folding my arms, but he's probably eating.
Oh, no.
He's not just sitting there at the dinner table like...
He's levitating the food with his mind. He doesn't eat with his hands like us peasants.
Yeah, he's a 20th level wizard that does everything with telekinesis.
That'd be fucking sick.
Sensei?
In a lull of silence, Roderick's just going to be like,
You know, I can offer still stains to help you out with that breastplate if you need it to get worked out, you know. You was right helpful the other night, free of charge, of course.
I may very well take you up on that. There is a bit of a waiting list for armorers at the moment.
Sure.
And I'd rather not have to open my purse to purchase another one outright. My brother here may be a governor, but I'm working on a soldier's paycheck.
Isn't he like... Isn't he the leader of a section?
Well, he's still
He's
a
an
captain.
officer.
He's an officer, but like, still, just because you make decent money doesn't mean...
What's the U.S. military equivalent of his rank?
Probably literally a captain.
I asked that question. I have no fucking idea how much. Like, that's just.
Yeah.
That's asking questions.
When Alico says that, I said, it's the least we can do. Frankly, at one point, we're the only one who was actually causing any kind of damage to him, so...
FYI, a quick Google search says this man makes about the equivalent of 60K.
Oh yeah, man, he's a broke boy. You're right.
But yeah, no, he, just like... I'm sure that after the discussions that we are all getting kicked out of here to have been concluded, we can continue that offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So, Governor, you said that you heard all kinds of rumors and stuff, and that them Altons were killed by demons. So, I mean, have you heard rumors about me?
I've heard a few, but not mostly from the Altons.
Oh, really? They don't seem to care for me too much.
No, it's, I imagine it would be the Knights with the biggest problems with you, but they don't speak to me. So, But I have had more than one Franz Lean representative in my desk, passing papers across, asking for me to hunt you down.
Why'd you do a thing like that?
I wouldn't.
Industrial.
It is not my job to police their company interests. That is why it has gone back across the table. They hire a private security. Their private security can handle it. Or perhaps not.
Yeah, I don't think they can. They shot a ball and arrow with an arrow. I mean, that wasn't very...
Abuse of the elderly, you should arrest them, quite honestly.
Right, I mean... Is it...
In that particular interest. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Is it legal for them to just shoot folk in the street?
That is a complicated question.
Oh, you know.
I did not realize it was complicated.
There are agreements that come down to Franz Lin's ability to act independently in the protection of their own interests. They are, to put it frankly, unsavory, and probably outside of the bound of what most of us would be considered civil laws.
So is it also equally legal for the attacked to defend themselves against such unsavory activities?
In my opinion, it is always a man's right to defend himself. In the courts, however, Franz Lin's ability to retrieve information relating to their secrets is part of their protected right in the city. For the moment.
I see. Roderick, were you created by one of these Franz Lin individuals?
Oh, that should be on no.
I feel like they are well outside of their purview then, but...
Well, I mean, I didn't mean to turn this into a whole discussion about me and the Franz Lane, but...
It is just an interesting problem.
It is not my problem. It sounds like Franz Lin's.
Indeed. I did have one question for you. I mean, this may be my only opportunity to speak in such close proximity or so intimately with the leaders of the Colossi interests here within Griffin. And I must say I feel like it is relevant. What exactly is it that Koros gets out of its involvement with Griffin?
He smiles lightly and kind of looks down at the table for a minute, looks back up at you and says, "That is a twofold question."
Then I will assume that the answer will at least be twofold as well.
What was the original intent? At the installation of the governors? Or what has it grown to?
I think that seeing the differences could be educational.
You were around when the governors first arrived.
Well,
It was a partnership. A economic unification between three nations in an independent city-state that was at the time an economic powerhouse, beneficial to all. The city gets favorable economic boons from all three nations, and the amount of trade that can be pushed between the three was smoothed and escalated in such a way that it would help everyone involved. Open new trade routes, make trade swifter, more lucrative for everyone. But, as it stands, we give ourselves one economic favor. Nothing big. 2, 5. Unlimited trade. Tax exemptions. Free military movement through controlled territory. That is what. For both of your questions. I will only say, greed is a slow and parasitic creature.
In
And
my
no
experience,
Not even the king can be immune when it sneaks up on you.
in my experience, it is not a particularly slow killer.
That was in character. He takes a sip of wine.
What you reckon the Ortons get out of it? The whole situation.
The same.
Right.
I don't know what their knights get out of it or why they're even in this city, but that was all preordained before I arrived. But the Altons, my people, these already benefit from basically tariff-free trade and favorable prices from all products grown or developed within Griffin.
So I reckon at the moment they're kind of here for food then.
Food, metals, spices from Zorgine brought to Altus, weapons from Karoth sent to Zorgine, and increased tariffs on all countries not part of the governing alliance. Means more gold income for all three. But the amount that is redirected to the city has been shrinking by the year. Little by little.
As evident of the Mesolete and its growth year by year.
For context, Apollinaire, since you would be the only one here long enough to remember this,
Yeah.
there didn't used to be a Mesolete.
Yep. Mhm.
And as dinner passes, 2 courses and 3, dessert is brought. It's delicious. It's ornate and decadent, visually and impressive. It's like, damn, I didn't know someone could do that with pie. But it is, of course, not even remotely elfin in nature. You're not even sure how to describe it, but it's good.
Yeah.
Now, thank you for breaking bread with me, but this time I think for a talk.
All right.
And at not even a glance from his brother, Alikos stands and starts heading towards the door.
I follow, but message Gaia and go, are you staying here? I think you're muted, my friend.
Yes.
Okay. So I then place my hands on Roderick and Apollinaire and
Before
go.
you go any further, while she finishes her sentence, Chris, go ahead and roll me a deception check. All right, continue.
Oh, say, let us wait for our friend here. Indicating Valentine.
9.
All right.
All right, little one. Go ahead, join your friends.
Straight from Puss in Boots. Meow.
Oh shit.
We can wait outside the door for him, right? Like there's that.
That's my plan. I'm not freaking
Yeah, like
leaving
I'm
the
not
building.
gonna leave the building until.
Absolutely not.
Like I'm willing to trust this conversation, but like I'm not
Only so far.
leaving.
Alikos heads down to the bar downstairs.
Good for him.
Roderick just leaves the room and waves to the governor.
Thanks for the meal, cuz.
Gaia will.
I think
Did we
Go
go
ahead.
upstairs?
Yeah, y'all are on the upstairs dining room.
Then yeah, she will sit at the bottom of the stairs. She will transform back into a person after being kicked out.
Gotcha. So Alikos is going downstairs. You're at the bottom of the stairs. Where are the rest of you three before we end this session?
Outside the door.
Right outside the door? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Yes.
downstairs too, to just to sort of position myself if there is folks that will try to like go. I know, like obviously, people, Roderick, Apollinaire, and Gaia are either on the stairs or in front of the door. But I want to be downstairs, sort of near Alikos and just casing the joint. Do you have Apollinaire? Do you have to be holding the wrist pocket thing, or can I have
it will come to me. Yeah, I basically have like tied it to like a pocket dimension blip like in my hand.
Okay. Can I make a perception check to see if there are other people who have their weaponry on them?
Yes.
Wait, was that a yes, that there are other people who have weaponry on them?
Yes, you can roll it. Yes, you can roll it.
Okay, I was like, perception to 18.
Alikos has a unconcealed boot knife.
Great.
The bouncer types at the door have bludgeons. There's probably 2 or 3 people in the crowd you can see that have like belt knives or daggers or something, but there is no one with anything more than that you can see.
Fine. I have the daggers in my boots still though. And I'll message Apollinaire of if anything goes down, just throw me my sword.
Also, interesting point. This is the first time you've ever seen Alikos not wearing. The first time outside of the frantic run to the to Mesalete, where you've seen him outside of his uniform or some variation thereof. So as we wrap up tonight's session, any last minute comments or actions as the 2 big dogs have their conversation in the dining room?
Yeah.
You're very muted, Ken.
It's some pretty good craftsmanship, but it's kind of gaudy.
Yeah, it's spectacular craftsmanship. Just from a strictly mechanical point of view. Whoever did this had expertise.
That's it. That's all I got.
All right. So as we wait with bated breath for the politically important people to have their important conversation, we're going to end tonight's session wrapping up episode 11, Blood and Silver. You're on Hard Knock Dice. Good grief. All right, so thank you guys for joining us for another fun episode, both these 4 lovely players and any viewers who took your time and energy to enjoy the story we have to tell. Don't forget, we're also here on Saturdays with a couple of the same faces in Kent and Ian, i.e. Roderick and Apollinaire as players. And while you can't see him, our lovely production crew, Alex as the wonderful DM for Saturday, 5 p.m. across Eberron, the other Hard Knock Dice campaign currently going on. As always, we want to go ahead and support charity. So if someone drops the link, give it a look. We are supporting Extra Life, or Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. And I've been informed we are rating Legends of Evantris. That's a new one, I think. I haven't seen that one before, so check it out. Maybe they got something cool to be going. As always, I do have to make sure you know that we are the coolest D&D game on Twitch, but there's got to be some pretty awesome runners-up out there. So they got to be worth your time. We can't be streaming 24/7 for you. So stick around for them, and we'll see you guys next time. Y'all have a good rest of your week.
Bye.